Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sport of the Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly with Brandman Brandon. We got Tank Kramer down there, and we're going to talk about Silo Season 2, Episode 9, The Safeguard.
Yes.
Boy, I don't know about y'all, but I was watching it, and I was like, this might be the best damn episode I've seen in this series, period. I was really enthralled. I mean, I think it's the best of the season, but it might be the best I've seen of all the stuff because of all the different parts that are kind of working. What do you guys feel?
Go ahead. Go.
I'm inclined to agree, actually. I liked how much it really went more into Solo, which I thought was awesome. I thought that it was more it really moved things forward in a way that I didn't expect. Pretty much all the scenes between Steve Zahn first and foremost, and him and Rebecca Ferguson especially stood out for me on this particular episode. And just kind of learning more about the rebellion in the past, that sort of thing. And it had me kind of zeroing in a little more with how I think this is gonna all culminate.
Yeah. And then by the end of this episode, I was thinking that too. I was like, is this the best episode out of all seasons? There's only 2 so far, but
that's 19 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, it just was done so well. I thought it answered a bunch of questions while giving us new, more intriguing questions. And it was just, and it's really like filling up this world, filling up this universe with interesting stuff, whether it be characters, the lore, the world itself is expanding, and these new characters are coming in and are really, I think, well done, well executed. So really loved it.
Yeah, and it was like a Solo deep dive almost. That Solo backstory, man, really. That one got me very effective.
Yeah,
really.
Also,
really,
I was thinking, I was like, because I know like Brian last week was like already saying like this is gonna be a big episode just because it's the penultimate of the season, and we've been building up to this almost breaking point of information at some point, and that's what we got, so it was like, that was right. And then I felt like so justified in like the POV angles of the entire season, and that being completely right. I was like, yes. Like it was done. I was right, because that's what it felt like, and it was done really well. But I just didn't know the extent of it. It was a lot more than I was like, oh yeah, somebody's watching. It was like,
it's a lot of somebody's watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Which kind of made sense. And so I'm watching these episodes along with finishing up Wool right now, and I am like I think I'm on chapter 70. There's only 80 chapters in the book. I'm on chapter 70. So like, and it's funny because it's matching up with that, and me watching this and reading that, and then seeing the differences in the book, in the series, and thinking that they did a great job of the things that they're changing. They really are doing a great job noticing what we need to change because it's better for TV. I am really enjoying it because it makes me see the difference and it gives me more information overall.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did after this episode. I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, is this what happened in the book? And she kind of like broke down like the differences so far and stuff like that. I don't want to ruin if anybody
can't
wants to read the
compare
book,
right
now.
There's so different now.
Yeah, like and like right off the bat, like from things happen with when you first meet Solo and when she first gets in the new silo, and the kids and stuff like that. So it's very interesting, difference. So
I mean,
but I do want to read it still. But
even the age of Solo's like in the book is like maybe 55, 60, maybe in his 50s, and we see Steve Zahn, and he might be 42, 41. I know it doesn't sound like a big difference, but it's a huge difference compared to Juliet. So I mean, it's really interesting to watch.
Yeah, and I think that it plays off better than having an older person than Rebecca Ferguson, Juliet's character.
Mhm.
Rather than in the show, they're kind of almost the same age, or I see them around the same age, and that kind of like I think it hits different, when you're
He's
like
12 years old when the beginning of the side of the rebellion. So okay, those kids aren't born. I told you they're kids. You look at them, look like kids.
Oh
So
yeah,
you knew they're
right
kids,
like
and they weren't even born, and their parents weren't born. So that means he must be 12 plus 30, 31, 32. So I mean, 40, 42, 44, something like that. So it makes sense, and I think it was done well. Even though I like how he does in his book, because it's just different. It's just different. It went different paths, but each interesting and very comparable. Honestly, very comparable. But I can't wait to kind of break that down.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do that episode. Just have a breakdown differences.
Yeah. One last thing before I get into was, I know like last week and even maybe before the last few weeks, you've been saying like how much everything mirrors each other, And for me, like when you bring that up and you see stuff like that, but then like I saw it with them being the same age ish, it kind of like what Juliet went through when she was a young teen, with her mom and the relationship she had with her dad and stuff like that. And then what happened with Solo when he was that age, so them around the same age, like a lot of trauma, a lot of things, but just that the outcomes are very different, but you see like their world changed when they were like, young teenagers, and it's just like things, and then you have these younger, kids, they're obviously a little bit older than 14, but they're not much, not much, yeah. So, and only 2 of them, the other 2 are still super young, and then the fucking baby, it's like, so it's like, yeah, it's just seeing mirrors. Everything is like a reflection of something else, and you see stuff like this, and you get to see like it's almost like it's a foreshadowing of another character if you're like really paying attention. That's why the show, it's so well done when you're able to like take the source material and tweak it a little bit to make it fit better for television.
Sometimes you got to do that,
yeah, and it's doing I think a great job. And from what I understand, Hugh
Howie's enjoying
Howie is liking it, and then all the behind the scenes stuff. If you guys are watching that, like Steve Zahn, like was in the Solo, or in the Silo kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. All the stuff with Adam Savage, the Mythbuster dude.
Yep.
So a lot of cool like behind the scenes stuff.
Enjoy it a lot. I've been enjoying it. We got we got in the building. We got Nikisha, of course. Guys, can't wait to discuss the episode. It was good. Maybe my favorite episode thus far. Definitely my favorite episode of the season. They answered several questions I'd had. Let's get into what you guys are saying right now. So we got Dr. Deb in the building. We got Jeeves in the building. Jeeves, you like this episode? I know you didn't like last one, but I'm saying the penultimate, man. This was good, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Dr. Deb, yes, it was a very exciting episode. It was a good one. I watched it 4 times already. I had to watch it. I watched it 3 times, okay? But the other time I watched it, the 4th time I watched it, I was just taking like the screenshots, trying to, so we could talk about each one. But yeah, it's interesting because you see more detail. You see little things that really reflect a lot of things. And I feel like the different ages, you can see yourself in the situation. You put yourself in that silo at different points. Can you see yourself as Walker? Do you understand, what everyone's going through? Shirley's reactions make sense. Does Billings' reactions make sense? Does Knox's? What would you do if you were in those positions? And makes you kind of relate to the characters. I think does a really good job of that.
Yeah.
Steve Zahn was sorely missed last episode. Great having him back and having his backstory confirmed. I agree.
Yep.
When Solo realized Juliet stayed to save him and touched her shoulder, I was crying. It was so good.
So good. so good.
I was the only one. I was like, he just looked at her, was like, so you had the suit all the time? Oh my god. I was like, is that a frog in my throat? So that was a fantastic scene. We got Danny in the building. What's up, Danny?
Oh, what's up, Danny?
What's going on, Danny?
Like he said, I had a crazy thought with all the foreshadowing. Silo 18 mirroring Silo 17. Will Sim's son end up in the vault alone at the end of this?
Ooh.
I don't think this season. I could see season 3, but the difference is Juliet, and now having her suit. Does she stop it from getting to the point where like the books get to? Does she stop it? Do they listen to her? Does Lucas being, an IT shadow and gaining favor help? So I have other questions, but I don't want to bring that up yet. G said they are lucky that they put out this episode. Loved it. It was so good. I'm so interested. Yeah. Oh, interesting thought, Nikisha. Yes, definitely. And yes, I've been watching Mayfair Witches, so we'll talk about that on Monday, Danny. So maybe if you watch, maybe maybe I'll throw the invite to you so you can we can talk about it together.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
So Danny man said, caught you on the Plant Fanatics stream, new sub. Appreciate you, Dan. Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I'm very opinionated about that stuff, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I got the
invite.
It was in the Twitter thing. It was sitting there.
No, it was not.
It's still there.
I don't remember. I had some issues with the kids. Not issues, but but I wound up catching you guys were on until like 1 a.m.
Yes.
But I caught like the end of it, and it was a lot of fun. I do hope you guys do it again because I do want to join. I know Brandman wants to join too. But having that many people with very different opinions and very different reasons, like everyone still wants the recast, but different reasons and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot. I mean, the beginning. I mean, the beginning was really, really interesting. So, if you guys get a chance to go Plant Fanatics, jump in and subscribe to them first of all, because Darius is awesome. They do a lot of great things, and but we had a lot of fun on Friday.
Yeah. Shout out to Darius, man, for opening up his channel for like that.
All right, let's jump into the scenes real quick, guys, if you don't mind.
All right.
Cool. Also, I see you, Brogu. I know you gotta go, but appreciate you coming in, saying bye.
Yeah, thanks.
Man. Sorry we missed you, Brogu, but yeah, I definitely want to. We'll talk about this later. We'll definitely talk about it later. Okay, so start off the episode. We start seeing the kids trying to understand who they are. I mean, we before you didn't even know if they were adults. If they're adults, there was a lot more kids. They kind of showed us a lot of them doing things, planning things out, and then you see this Lord of the Flies almost esque living situation. Like they created this thing. This is where they live. This is everything, and I thought that was really interesting. And obviously, they weren't alone before, but they are now. So we kind of saw a lot of, interesting things of how they're doing things and how they're getting power, and see the wires, and you see all those things. So I thought all that was very interesting. And then we see the little kid, and then a baby. And it's like this baby can't be older than what 6 or 7 months. So the parents, those people that we saw are dead, those fresh bodies, obviously were gone before then. So whose baby? Then I started to realize, oh, okay, the oldest are together. And then I'm like, so then who's this other one? This other chick? So it just seemed like they looked at her like she was less than everybody else. She was younger, and the one girl was obviously the leader, and everyone was going to listen to her. The one with the arrows and everything. There's no doubt she was
the murderous psychopath, because
she was crazy for no reason.
Yeah, she was nuts.
like, why is she doing all this stuff? Why is she acting this way? It was so
bro. But she would
we
ask the
can't trust her.
question.
Cool.
Yeah.
Once, not trust her is one thing, but to just like, okay, let's chop the rope up. Let's force her to go down or fall into the water, fall 50 stories. What the hell is your problem? Why can't we just talk to her? Ask a question.
And when she asked the question and be like, before you even like had a breath to answer, you're like, boom, you shot you too long. Like she was just like, oh, the new person, killer. It was like, damn, calm down, man. That got to me quick. I was like, girl, relax. Like
no chill.
She was bothering the hell out of me, and I was like, dude, you better step up, bro. You better step up, say something. And he started to say, he was like, no, it's not worth it.
by the time he like said, the arrow's already in the air. It's like,
so you see them staring at. So all those point of views, as Tank was just talking about, that we found interesting, from different points, different heights. It was from their point of view, and I thought that was a great thing to kind of bring out. And then you see this scene. And I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he putting armor on, building himself some armor? And the way he did it, he was compressing it and figuring things out. They had some intelligence to it. They had some life skills. So they were born into this. I think that's what this showed, that they were born into this. They were able to figure a lot of this stuff out on the fly because this is what they always have done. Made me wonder what was going on when they were born. How many really did survive? Yeah. How are they the only ones left? The one who was with Juliet always talked about her mother gave her, because she got sick. What did she get sick with? Was this remnants of outside seeping in?
Ooh, yeah.
So I thought that they kind of had more questions the more we went along, and I appreciated that. So G said, Cat Williams, whose baby is this? The damn silo. I would watch a season of the parents and kids while Solo was in the vault to see how they lived, to figure out what was going on. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What is it? So Shift is supposed to be a prequel, right? I don't know if it's a prequel of Silo 18 or is it maybe give you some more background on 17.
Yeah,
that would be interesting in itself. And then you see this crazy lady cutting the damn rope without talking to nobody, just making decisions and doing whatever. It's like, man, like she might be a problem, man. I don't know. I didn't think that, like, maybe there's someone needed to handle her. Maybe she needed to be flipped over the top to be able to off the top rope to be able to handle this thing, man. Because she didn't take any input from anybody else, and she thought she had all the answers, and I thought that was always dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, but if your first thought is like, we gotta kill him. I was like you're never gonna get past where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, is this gonna be the rest of your life? Like, living in this little, part of this giant silo with a baby, and it was like at some point you got to kind of figure things out and possibly, at the very least, talk to somebody. You don't even have to trust her. At least talk to her. So,
what did you think about the fact that she had this baby and her first thought was revenge and not getting into the vault for food?
I mean, for me, I like everything with the kids. Realize like they are kids. This very impulsive, very quick to action. Very very much like a teenager, like a kid. So
very very rash. Doesn't think it through.
Yeah. So that's a lot of it. Was like, if they were adults, I think it'd be a little more upsetting. It didn't like bother me. I was able to kind of like laugh at it and poke fun at her wanting to kill everyone so quick, because she is a kid. You know what I mean? Like, especially a kid in that world that she's in. Like, what else does she know? So
what else happened that put her in that position, that put her in that mind frame that we can't trust anyone because A, B, C,
Yeah.
What has happened in her life that put her in this way? Dr. Deb said, yeah, crazy lady, no doubt.
Loony psycho. I'm not going to say the word.
And then Miss Honey, how you doing, Miss Honey? She says she's seen some bad stuff though. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What if they, there were a lot of different groups there and they tried to do things to the kids? She realized she couldn't trust them. So maybe they've tried to reach out before. Like I'm watching this series called Earth Abides. And it was from like at the end of From, they showed this Earth Abides. So I've been watching the series, but when you are alone and you don't know everyone else that's coming in and you have kids, how do you trust? So now she has a baby. Her job is to protect her baby, and you just lost your parents. How do you trust these new people? So I think that's part of the thing with her.
Yeah. And then it's also like you said, with the parents, lost the parents, and then the entire her world, her silo, you're born into like, oh yeah, everyone died like not that long ago, so yeah, it's just you're born into death, literally, like it's a dead silo, and you're just clinging on to whatever you can grab onto,
because they don't have any idea about anything. That's what it was so riveting for me. Like, really, they have no idea what's going on with anything. So see, I finished Earth Abides. It was good. It was hard for me to watch some episodes. Oh, when the dog, that was his only friend. Oh my god. Oh, when he gets attacked by a mountain lion. Oh my goodness. Earth Abides was really good to me. A different type of dystopian. Yes, very much so. Very good though. It's another very good show. This is when I started to realize it's their baby. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But even in this point, I'm thinking, okay, but he's what 17? Maybe she's 17 or 18 years old. Then the other one's 15, and then you have like an 8-year-old and a baby. It's like, man, that's a lot of responsibility. How that hardens you, and that being your only reality, especially without parents. Your parents just left one day and never came back. How does that affect you?
Yeah. Especially like just knowing like they went here and they died. So you kind of blame somebody, but you don't know the full story because you refuse to ask questions. You just start shooting, but then again, like I said, like you're angry, man. You're angry and fearful really too, so yeah.
So, guess they didn't have much else to do in the silo. So it's like colonial times, but in a silo. Here's the other thing. I don't know if y'all caught this. So she was when the other girl was talking, she was like, oh yeah, my mom brought him because they were to him because their parents got together. They were together, right? So those kids' parents were together.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
They're stepbrother, stepsister.
Kind of. Yeah. At the very least, they're
stepbrother, stepsister. That's
how
I
think I understand.
It is. I was like, wow, okay. That's what we're doing here, huh?
Yeah.
You're right, Jeeves. People got married at 14 back then, so I mean that shouldn't bother me, but I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been like you said, the baby's kind of new. So after the parents, were gone, they could have been like, nah, you guys can't hook up. And then like they're gone, they're like, well,
it's just us two. Let's do it.
We're technically not related.
They might not even know about incest because it's only them.
Yeah.
It's only them, talking about Garden of Eden, all that stuff. It's only two. What can you do?
Math don't math, and then eventually
exactly
1 + 1 doesn't equal 1,000. It says somehow.
Solid points, Jeeves. right, so they gave us a lot more. We start seeing their point of view. You see Juliet walking down. It's the point where Solo asks her to come back, and it seems like they're starting to realize that she's not what they think she is, but they weren't sure again.
Yeah.
So Miss Honey says, my grandma got married at 13. She lived in the Caribbean. Yeah, I got you. I mean, especially, back in the day, that makes sense. And then here, once again, there's no one else. It's not like there's a lot of choices. You ain't going to go watch TV. You can't even read a book. There's literally nothing else. So my parents at 17. I believe my parents got together when they were 19. So yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So you see, they finally decided to get brave. I lightened this one up because it was very dark. You couldn't tell what was going on. But they were getting brave. He has his armor on, his suit of armor. He got his axe ready to go. They're going to go attack Solo. And she's watching him and has her bow and arrow from afar. And Solo's like, dude, what are you doing? He's going to fight back because I think he's been through a lot. People trying to get into the vault. Though he might be a mind of a 12-year-old, he's still very much a man. So going against a 17-year-old, you might have a little bit more experience with it. I think that's kind of what's going on. Once again, she's ready to murder whoever she can. Just murderous intent, no matter what.
Yeah.
See the fight keeps on going, and she finally is able to shoot Solo in the back with her arrow. She wanted them to kill him immediately, but he thought better of it. He was like, "No, we're not going to get into the vault. What are you doing? Why are we talking about this?" Right?
That's what I thought. Was like, he has information you need. Like at the very least, even if he's a bad guy, you still need to keep him alive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they knocked him out. They're able to carry him back over to their makeshift jail. I mean, he's already been shot with an arrow, and and that kind of tells us that caught us back up into what actually happened before, when Juliet's line got cut. Her, you saw the axe was a mistake, hit her line, cut the rope. All those things kind of happened, and it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was good for us to finally have answers about what actually happened beforehand. Yeah, Ms. Honey says this show is too dark, too often. I get the whole silo feel thing, but damn.
Yeah, usually I got to turn out most of the lights in the room to make sure I catch everything.
Yeah, and I'm in a lot of the Facebook groups, and I think the main official Facebook group that was created by the creator, the moderators had to come out and they're like, "Hey, we get it, man. Like, we don't need more posts telling us about how dark it is." So, because it's a common complaint from everybody, from almost everybody. So, yeah.
With me being complaining about it too, but I feel like you can't be in Silo 17 and make it like you have lights everywhere, right?
Yeah, it can't be. Yeah.
You do have to understand what's going on, but yeah, it's a little bit hard to see. Sometimes you have no idea what the hell's going on. But in the book, they describe it that way. That is, how it's supposed to be. You have to feel like there's times where when Julia in the book goes underwater and she's trying to fix the big pump, where it's so dark that she can't see anything. It's pitch black. She doesn't know which way is up and down, and you want to get that feel. So I understand what they're trying to get the feel that Hugh Howey was trying to describe in the book. But once again, you made different adjustments from the book because it's better for TV, right? So maybe you should just give us one more light. I don't need a spotlight, but just a little bit of ambience. Just give me a little bit. So she got some weak ass arrows. People getting shot and walking around like nothing. They're like, hey. Just not good at all.
That is true.
So that's absolutely true, Miss. Yeah. What's up, Kal-El?
Yo,
Hello.
what's up, man?
Hey, man.
So Juliet barely flinched.
Oh, yeah, they were just taking them like they were nothing.
It's like getting stabbed with a stick. Like, that really hurts.
I know.
Now the
Shooting,
splinter here.
shooting splinters, not arrows. Nerf arrows. Jeez.
Arrows. So she was healed. She quickly healed from those arrows hits. Yeah, everyone did. Solo, he was like, "Oh, I'm dying." He was like, "Okay, let me walk around and use my arm now because it's just fine, even though you shot me in the back. It's fine."
Also, though, it does make a little bit more sense because she's young. Probably how trained is she in the bow and arrow? So it's like it's probably not going to go in very deep. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you use for tension for the string?
Yeah, what's the actual arrow bow made out of? What's the arrow made out of? You know what I mean? Like you can only make a stick so pointy. Like I'm sure it hurts. Don't get me wrong, and you're gonna bleed. But like at the end of the day, it's like a 17-year-old girl shooting a homemade bow and arrow. Not
true.
Really deadly, but yeah.
So I have a question. Why didn't they know that the blue lights simulate sunlight to our bodies? So in the silos, they should have been filled with blue lights. Also could have given you vitamin D. Like you could do things like that to give you things that you're going to miss out on. That's a really good point, especially if they planned it out. I got a question for both of you guys real quick. All right. So do you think that they planned it out? That they knew this was going to happen? Or what? Because they created all these 51 silos, right? Do you think they planned everything out?
Yes. I do.
Yeah. I think most of it, most of it, because the order is that's a pretty big book.
Yeah.
So I think they even have it planned out for when you possibly lose control. Like so I think they got most of it planned out.
Me too.
Was it because of something that was naturally happening?
That's the question.
Now that's a good question. That I didn't think too much about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is this the first time they did a silo? Like, did they have a test experiment before? Yeah.
When you said they planned this out, it feels like if you planned something, then it's because you made it happen. Or is it like something happened to cause the chemical? If there's only 51 silos, is that only one country's place of silos? You're in the Matrix, so they say like we scorched the sky, things like that. That made me think, wondering how planned it really was. If it was this planned, did you know what you were doing? I think there's gonna be a lot of questions, and that's why I'm excited to read Shift and see what happened beforehand, before times.
Yeah.
Dr. Deb says, it seems like a control experiment to me. That was stupid. Says, I love you, Solo. Oh, wait. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Travel cheap. This was definitely planned out. I don't know who's behind it all, but it's feeling like the government, the fallout of a late stage capitalism and global warming.
Yeah. So at the end of this episode, I was like, "Oh, there's like, quote, Big Brother, quote unquote,
Big Brother."
Yeah.
The order book had instructions for what to do in any crazy occasion.
Yeah.
That makes you think, like what you just said. I don't know if you or Brandman said that maybe they tried it out. Was this an experiment before? They knew how people were going to react.
There had to be experiments or trial runs, I think, in the past. Probably on more than one occasion, I think.
Or maybe they trapped people back there, but down there below, as an experiment before, knowing that this is going to end up happening, and then they use that for, all right, this is what we're going to do in this case. This is what we're going to do in this case.
Yeah.
Maybe there's only 51 silos because they tried one silo first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they put the other 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're testing things out, contingencies, how to proceed moving forward so the wheels spin smoother. But yeah. That's kind of how I was looking at it actually more and more, especially after this episode. Kind of thought about it for a couple of minutes after I finished it.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with Dr. Deb. They may be in the middle of an experiment.
Yeah, I can see that.
For all we know, this could be another of the aforementioned speculated trial runs.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So they stopped the vault so they stocked the vault so completely that Solo still had ice cream. Centuries later, they're still creating ice cream. Hey, I own a Culver's. We make ice cream all the time. So I'm just saying.
But also, it's like it made it seem like there's like some Star Trek kind of futuristic machine that made food, right? Like, because that's what he said last time. Bernard, right? Like, oh, the kitchen's in there, blah blah blah. I don't know. I have to go back and probably check that out, but that's what I thought. Like the AI made the food. I guess you would still need the materials though, but
yeah, I don't know if that's what it was, but that's a good question. Yeah. I don't know if they had a replicator. Why would they need anything else? If this was Star Trek and they had a replicator, you don't need nothing because you can replicate blankets and food and everything. You don't need resources for that. Yeah. So I don't know. So I think so too, Jeeves. Okay. Middle of an experiment. I would die if they had a replicator. The whole time. Okay. So that was just the beginning of the episode, right? I mean, seeing the kids, seeing all their point of view, seeing how Solo was being snatched up, answering all of our questions from the beginning of last episode. So I thought that was important for us to kind of go over for them. And that we were all right. The point of view was right. The kids being were right. All these thoughts with the blood was right. Oh, they smeared more blood around for you not to know what's going on. It was right. So it was just it was very, very cool that we had some of these things correct from you guys.
Yeah. But I thought it was just well done where like you were able to give us all of that right off the bat, and it didn't feel rushed, although it was like fairly quick in the beginning of the episode. So but it just felt like quick enough where like, all right, you get what we're trying to do, because they could have easily spent the whole episode on that.
Shout out to the show writers to give us a full hour of an episode, like a full packed hour of stuff happening.
They had to, like, with as much ground as they covered with this one, building up to the finale. I would have been disappointed if they didn't.
They understood the assignment with what to do with a penultimate episode.
Yeah.
All right, so this is her still trying. We should go kill him. We still should kill him. Just like, I don't know why you so,
why she's so bloodlusted.
And she's yelling at the other people like, "What are you doing? Stop! We don't care about your ideas, like because you have all the good ideas." Whatever. So kind of pushed her to trying to do something because he felt it's your fault that she's still alive. So you gotta do something. You gotta watch her. We'll handle it. So she's like, "F you, I'm gonna handle it. I'm going to go, wait for Juliet or whoever the girl lady, and I'm going to attack her," which I thought was a bad idea.
Yeah. But again, she trying to prove herself, trying to be like, I'm not, a no good nothing.
Not just someone that you're trying to eat, trying to feed, whatever, all the time. I'm more than that. Once again, she's wearing her bow and arrow when she shoots everybody. And that's the end we got from there. So for a minute, I thought she was ready to resort to cannibalism. We gotta kill him because that's what we need to eat. Maybe that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to eat, so she was going to kill him and cook
one
him.
way or another. I'm eating.
You either open the vault or we're getting the spick out and we're gonna rotate you. Rotisserie chicken tastes like chicken. Miss Honey says she's bitter. She calls the other girl eater and treats her like crud. 100%. 100%. Like eater, like dude, like because you don't eat because you weren't going to run out of food. That one mouth wasn't going to. You brought another baby, another mouth into the family. Talking about her, she's the eater,
right?
Yeah.
So she was hangry. That's all.
Give her a Snickers.
She was just hangry.
I mean, she did get better after the ice cream. So.
Well, that's never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Yeah, miss. She has a bit of tunnel vision. Yes.
Yeah, that's putting it nicely.
Who doesn't feel better after ice cream, guys? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The arrows was to help. Yeah, sure. Tenderize the meat.
Yeah.
Tell her she has failed this city. Oliver
failed the city.
Failed. Yeah. Failed the city. Yeah.
You have failed this city. You have failed the silo.
I like this picture because I thought it was beautiful, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool shot.
All the books, the solar system still moving. He hasn't even started to think about that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you see, Luke is doing this thing, talking to Bernard. Bernard's telling him, he's telling him, hey, I got this thing. It's telling we're not just one. There's 50 silos, and this is all this crazy stuff. I got all these answers, and this is what he was trying to say to us from the beginning. And it's funny because Bernard is like, nah, bro. Yeah, everything you have, you only half right. It's 51 silos, which, as you guys said to me, that makes a lot of sense that they were planning this. They had an experiment already. That's why how they had the order. They had things to help them. They knew the 20 years and all that stuff because they did the experiments. 51, and it's funny because Bernard corrected him so quickly. So when you guys said that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
So he told Lucas, you better go back, figure out some more. There's a lot more to that message that none of this stuff really matters. Every person who runs a silo and their shadow knows. As head of IT and their shadow knows about these things, all the other silos.
Mm-hmm.
Try to communicate with them too.
Yeah. When this was going on, part of me thought for a second, I'm like, I wonder if he's like getting maybe frustrated with Lucas because he's like, you're finding all this out, but I already know all this,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's impressed that he's finding this out on his own, or if he's like, hey, I need new info, man. Like, I know all this stuff. Well, I need new stuff. So, I don't know. Bernard's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
He's hard to read.
Yeah. But he definitely, as now, once Lucas has become his shadow, he definitely treats him differently. He's more patient. It seems like he's more patient.
Well, he didn't want to give him anything. He didn't want to lead him in any direction. He wanted to find it himself.
That's true. You
figure out what your own ways. And it's funny because the more we got into this episode, the more we realized how good Metals really was.
Yeah.
That she was doing the same thing. She was doing everything that Lucas is doing, Metals was doing. And it's obvious that she saw something in him when she had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And
that's true.
Still, to me, the smartest person that we've had in the entire series, Judge Metals.
Oh, easily.
The vaults are so cool. They just look weak. I mean, seeing all that knowledge, all that's the beautiful art and sculptures and everything in one place with the winding staircase in the middle of a silo that's like, industrial. It's just so cool. So such a great thought
Yeah.
and creativity for it.
It's very gorgeous in an artistic way. The way the books are lit. The big solar system up top, all the art. Everything's laid out, and it's like hidden in this very minimalistic and straight to the point. Silo way. Everything else is like nothing's wasted. Blah blah blah. Everything has a purpose. Then you come here and it's just beautiful, just because it's knowledge and art and stuff like that. So
but
it's very, very different.
Is it to give creativity, to force creativity? To think outside the box, to be able to enjoy and appreciate the knowledge that's there.
Then the whole curiosity thing, he brought that up, and man, that made so much sense to me. You have to be curious to think more than like, nope, we have this and this is what it's used for, and then we can't use it for anything else. So
there he is, Lucas. Looks so good this episode, I guess. I keep getting distracted by his handsomeness.
Yeah, I'm sure once we get into other stuff with his personal life, the first thing I thought was Nikisha. I was like, oh, okay.
And I was gonna bring it up too. That's what I was gonna say. This is Area 51. Yep, exactly. Area 51. Yeah. That's very smart. Yeah. I was worried about the info and the power changing Lucas, but I'm more worried that Bernard will use and kill Lucas like he did Meadows. I wonder what the information he's going to get down low. What if he finds out that there's cities underneath the ground? What if he finds out this is an experiment somewhere and someone's still watching them? And maybe the AI is not AI. That it's actually someone talking to them.
Oh, I didn't even think
watching
about that.
Everything they're doing. My mom.
I didn't even think about that. Holy shit, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching the episode. I'm telling you, I was thinking that stuff and I was like, everything that as they're doing more.
This whole episode.
They do another reveal. I'm like, oh, so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Send me to Nikisha. I wish From would open their secrets, their sets for tour. I paid to tour the silo as well. See, From, it's too cold. I'm not going up there. Even in springtime, it gotta be summertime for me to even think about it. So that would be sweet. So Meadows was wise. You can have access to all the knowledge and be brilliant at what you do, but not be wise. That's profound. Jesus, very profound. Yes, I was so relieved when he finally went to see his mama. No one felt like, dude, you lied about your mama. You said your mama was sick, bro. And she's sitting there helping and helping all these other people. And I thought his mama was the one about to die. And so, his mama was the one who was taking care of everyone. How you taking care of your mama when she's taking care of everybody else?
Everybody, yeah. Lying in general is pretty horrible, but to lie like that, especially, like, come on.
Who would ever lie about your mama?
Yeah.
Aren't you afraid to say that stuff happens because you brought it on? I put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby. Come on.
It's the ultimate no.
Yeah.
So the voice used normal human inflection. Exactly like a person is speaking, not like an AI trying to manipulate or even replicate a human emotion. It sounds like they had their own.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't think about that. That kind of helps you make sure you keep tabs on what's going on. Yep.
Yeah. That's how they know who you are. I mean, how do they
doing?
know the little things you're doing?
Yeah.
There has to be, there's no AI just watching you, when you're unplugging stuff. So yeah, there has to be someone outside. There has to be a big brother. I think like what you guys are all saying. So we go to Paul Billings and he's having this conversation with his wife. And why did the founders not want us to know about this?
Yeah.
Why do they take away all of our knowledge of our past or where we come from? What would be the point of doing those stuff? He's asking questions that I feel like all of us would ask if we were on the outside too. he's definitely becoming one of the people that we can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it's very much like what he says later in the episode. And I now trust her fully. I trust her. Just she is there for her husband and her baby, and the only problem is, does she start to listen and believe that outside is actually good?
Yeah. This whole time we were worried like she's gonna be going the other way. Like she's gonna be going like no, the pact is right. Like you get to blindly follow it. She might be the first one, scratching at the door, to get out.
Yep.
So well, yeah, very good character evolution throughout the show.
I was just happy that they changed it up for her. So
yeah,
I could. It's like, I was worried about Kathleen overall. I was like, am I going to enjoy her? Is she going to do too much? And now I'm like, dude, she's almost, she ain't Camille, because no one was a Camille, but she up there. She up there. And let's see. Now we get to kind of see the note. If you get to look at it, if you've gotten this far already, you know the game is rigged. We think we're the chosen ones, but we're just one of many. The founders didn't build it's a single silo. They built 50, and they created the safeguard. Now we don't know what the safeguard is yet, right? But that gives a lot more information. That's a lot more than he was shared with Bernard. That made me feel like Lucas is not going to give Bernard all the information. He doesn't trust him either. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think you can feel it, like the desperateness of Bernard. He's like, you gotta do this for me. Do this. And it's like it's almost like you're not smart enough to figure this out, kind of thing. And I don't know, it just it's very interesting. Like, yeah, you just don't trust Bernard, and I think even his shadows, obviously don't trust Bernard, so
agreed.
Yeah, like they're going down the hole that Bernard, I don't know if he's afraid to go down or if
he just believes in the pact so much, or believe in this stuff so much that he's like, no, this is it. We're going. This is my job. This is all I can do and what I will do.
Yeah.
There has to be a wizard to this awful odds. She kept on. Even Judge Meadows kept on saying that, using that type of reference, right?
Yeah. And what was it? Last episode, we had a direct reference with the Wizard of Oz book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nikisha says, "I'm so surprised by Billings' wife. I didn't think that this was going to be her arc at all. You and me both."
Yeah. Yeah.
So Lucas will be in the same position as Meadows next episode, learning info he can't share even with Bernard.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to yeah. With that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's feeling like Holston's wife, Allison, all over again.
Ooh.
And what if she says, "I want out," and then Juliet's walking in? Yeah, man, she does. And it says Lucas can't tell Bernard like Meadows couldn't either. Because if you do, the safeguard comes. And I don't know what the safeguard is, but it could be just it floods the entire silo.
That's what I was thinking.
Failed experiment.
Yeah. Like the safeguard is the silo gets destroyed.
Gets destroyed
because you have to save the other ones. And also, like, Salvador only found out about 50, but Bernard knew about 51. So it's still like, does Bernard know more? Like, what does Bernard really know? And it's just like it's really interesting because like he only gives you the info once you find out the info.
Bernard
and then
might
he's
know
like,
all of this stuff.
Yeah.
The Salvador Quinn stuff, he might not know. It might not even be for Bernard. He's trying to get the information. He might be trying to get the information from the other founders that are out there because Bernard knows about them. Maybe the information he's seeking is for the founders so he can speak to them. Because we haven't talked about a phone yet, a communication device.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, we're back in Saddle 17. They told him, hey, you're gonna have to find out. You have 3 chances. You need to open that vault up, or we're gonna go kill him, and then we'll kill you. And she was like, okay, well, if you want to come help me. Let's go figure this out together. And if not, stay here. But I'm going to do something. While that's happening, this is Paul Billings finally talking to the rest, of this group and telling, hey, Knox, Shirley, just tell them all basically, hey, they want me to be sheriff because they feel like I wouldn't rock the boat. That wouldn't do too much. They thought I wouldn't ask questions because I trust the pack that much. They're wrong about me. I have lots of questions and I'm going to ask all of them. I want to know the truth more than I want to know anything else. And him having all that, and it was this emotional dump of information about who he was. And it seemed like it touched everybody except for Shirley, who didn't get 2 F's about anything he was saying. She did not care at all.
Yeah. But she don't trust nobody. It's so hard for her to trust anybody. But
it's only sense. What are your guesses on how the silo peeps would be destroyed? Well, okay, so IT has its own power source from outside. I think that is probably controlled by someone from the outside. There's no way that it's not this is not from, you're not going in the wall and coming from nowhere. It's literally coming from something, and they're probably in control of that. It's possible that they can also flood out their generator.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was thinking.
They're not in control of those pumps down below too, right? Where the diggers are, right? Someone else is in control of those pumps. There's pumps out there trying to keep that water out, right? So maybe they stop the pumps.
Yeah. Considering the prominence of water on this show, I don't see any other way than flooding. It's the only way, I think.
That's a good one. Lucas should throw caution to the wind and kick down the door, but he's too scared to do that.
He ain't doing that.
You should tell Shirley that she'll go do it. I think the same crowd will lie to keep them from opening the door.
Yeah. I once we get to that, I have a question about that because I wasn't sure. I only was able to watch it once. So I am gonna watch it a few more times because it was such a good episode. But once we get to that towards the end, I want to ask something.
It's a toast cheese. Toast, yeah. So gave all that information, and even Hank was like, man, I feel you, so but what can we do? And then Shirley, we see everyone taking all this in except for Shirley, and then she's just being so crazy, and Knox is like, hey, I think you're on the side, we need this stuff. I love that. And before we leave, I think that Shirley's like, okay, so I'm sorry that I'm acting this way. But we're alone, and I'm feeling very weird about this being alone. And obviously Billings has an idea. And they said there's only one, I think we get to this a little bit later, but they said there's only one person that we could trust. So we'll get to that when it comes up. So I think Solo told us already, when the people ran out, it was a lovely day until the dust came. The last book is called Dust. This show's lives, this show loves foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I think the dust is really poison.
Ooh.
That's really cool. That's a distinct possibility. That's where all this comes from. All the poison comes from. Geez, my tinfoil hat theory is that the tunnel door leads to the next closest silo, a la 17.
That's my theory too.
The problem is the water is still in 17.
Yeah.
You can't pump all that water out so fast. What happens then? Do you flood 18? Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. So Juliet and her and the girl are walking towards. She sees the parents that suffocated sitting in there. It's emotional for her. She comes to Juliet. Juliet tells her, "Hey, you know, we're looking for anything with his name on it. We're trying to figure out who he really is. So if you see anything with it, let me know." And she walks over to the desk, and the first thing she does is see something that's really important. But first she kind of talks to Juliet and says, you know, she gives her backstory that my mother gave me up to them because she was sick. And they, you know, they just call me eater because that's all they see me as someone who is an eater, and they, you know, as someone who takes things away. And you can see it's really affecting Juliet in her face. That's why I took this one picture, because you know, I thought that really affected her. She was sad. She was, but she can't show the effects of it.
Yeah.
But then because, you know, Juliet then kind of just take it from her, made her sad. And once again, alone. That's why she was so willing to say, if you have 2 suits, can I go with you? Which is interesting because by the end of the episode.
Yeah. Oh shit. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Suits.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, like, I felt for Juliet, because the whole time she's like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. You know, but this episode especially proved like how good of a person she really is. You know what I mean? Like how selfless is she
selfless.
is. Yeah. Selfless she is.
Selflessness.
You know?
Yes.
Yes. You know, she's just so kind-hearted, you know, where she part of her is like shut up, don't talk to me, you know, but then she's hearing this and she's starting to feel sad, you know,
facade up in order to be able to get through all this, because emotionally as a human being you feel for each person that's going through all this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but also I saw a lot of this as possibly again foreshadowing something else. It's like, if she can't save this silo with 5 people, 6
How's
people,
she gonna do it with 10,000?
How's she gonna do it with 10,000? You know, who are ready to kill each other with more than just a bow and arrow. You know, so yeah, so it's like obviously different levels of it, but if she can't do it here, you know, what chance does she have over there?
100%. I feel you. So that's a great question. Where does the pumped water go? And why do you have to pump in the water and out the water? I'm telling you that there's a lot of questions that we have to figure out about these silos. I agree with y'all, both Jeeves and Ms. So I think so too, Miss Honey. Or the Georgia shoreline, because it's at Atlanta, right?
That's what we believe. We've been saying
the skyline's Atlanta. It's Atlanta. I don't understand how those kids at Silo 17 have such good vocabulary. They shouldn't know so many words, especially if they don't have books or anything.
Yeah.
The water in 17 is being pumped down and will go low enough, slightly flood Silo 18 by 1 or 2 episodes. My guess.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That the water gets pumped that into another silo.
I think what she's saying is the pump that Juliet put together is going to is working really fast, so it's going to be pumping that water down. And if Juliet can't get out that front door, that she starts to work on that and realize, okay, if I could get more pumps going, I could get all the water out, and then the water's low enough that she goes down, because she already knows that it exists in 18, so she thinks maybe in 17 the same thing exists, and she gets in that way through the doorway. Is Juliet supposed to be the Dorothy and the Wiz?
Ooh.
Either that or you know, the only other comparison that I can think of is like Alice from Alice in Wonderland, in terms of, like they say in the Matrix, tumbling down the rabbit hole, seeing how deep it goes.
See how deep it goes, yeah.
Yeah, she's literally in a hole in the ground.
but Dorothy, yeah, definitely Jeeves. I think that's a great comparison too.
Bernard the wizard, he is fake. He doesn't have any real power. Camille knows that. His power is his knowledge. His power is his knowledge, and because there's no one else with his knowledge. But as powerful as he was before, because he didn't have a shadow, he was all powerful. Well, now Lucas knowing things about it, right? Did he lose some of his power, some of his invincibility? Because now someone else knows about it, and also Sims, who was close to him, knows things about it too.
Yeah.
It's Atlanta.
It's Atlanta.
She said, "You mean what I know?" I mean, gotcha. I think Lucas, Shirley, and company would find them in 17 first.
Ooh.
But
because they know about Shirley, down there.
Shirley told him first. Lucas can't tell anybody, and then Shirley told him, "You're on your own." When he went down, he said, "You're on your own." Through the tunnel door, Lucas just found.
Yeah, that was the thing I had too. Is like, you didn't watch him, like at the very least, like.
That's why I was like, why wouldn't you just go with him? Like, you think it's less dangerous to go down with him? Because she thought that he was going to drown in the water.
Yeah, but or at the very, just watch him. Like, you can kind of see, right? I mean,
no, you can't.
A flashlight.
Yeah,
I mean, a flashlight. You can, I don't know.
Yep. Said Lucas might start drinking. He might need to start drinking, man. That's the only way.
Yeah.
I said, but someone's got to go through the door. Dang it, right? Yeah. But the only person that could go through, I think, will be Lucas. It might even be possible that they say you have to answer 3 questions before you come.
Stop. Oh my God.
Oh, I'll tell you, man.
That is funny. I mean, it is very Wizard of Ozzy, like the big door is locked right there. The voice just starts coming out and like, yeah.
Lucas Kyle. Like, what the fuck? How do you know my last name, my government name? That's kind of crazy. You said Shirley is cold. When he pops back up, she'll have some questions like, bro, what happened? You better say something.
Oh, and that's gonna piss her off because he can't. So then she's gonna get even more pissed.
Oh, it's possible if you don't tell Shirley, she'll kill you.
Yeah. But also, I feel like Shirley like, oh, you don't want to tell me, I'm gonna go down there myself and look around. Because now she knows it's possible to go down there and look around. So, she might go down there with Knox. And Knox, he has but he's also very smart and very, very opposite of the kids. The kids are very rash and quick. Without thinking, he is quick, logical quick. So Shirley can easily like, hey, dude went down there, came back, and can't say anything.
Well, Knox, but would Knox take a chance of they're planning something? Take a chance of leaving with this plan in motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Bernard was the MSN, but the man behind the curtain. But maybe the person behind the tunnel is the real wizard.
That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, he's a false wizard. He's just whatever. So, Shirley don't play. I'm telling you. I've met some Shirleys in my life. I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with her, man. You're like, look, I might be able to win, but it ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. It's just because I might not.
Maybe I might not.
I can't believe we only have 1 episode left. This is why I'm so excited they announced 3 and 4, so we don't have to worry about it. We know we can plan out. Okay, this is good, and they don't take a long time to do these things. It's like Apple Plus has money, and they don't care. They're going to spend their money. It'll be back next year. This time in November, it'll be back.
The show needs to start winning some Emmys, though. It needs it should win some Emmys. It really should.
G says, dude, I'm slapping somebody if Juliet don't make it back to Silent 18 this season.
Ooh.
She can't get the door open.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think she's gonna. get to the 18 this season.
I think it's going to be the two of them going because I think there's 2 suits, and I think that she's not going to be able to get the door open.
Yeah.
So it will be a win, but at what cost?
Exactly.
So, hey, you guys, Knox's plan is a smokescreen to catch Walker as the mole and F over Bernard. I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
If you're right, I will be so happy because I'm like, why are you just giving her all the freaking information? What are you doing?
He knows. He's setting her up. But when we're gonna get to it, he's setting her up because he knows she's the mole. So if you plant information, and you're like, oh, you're the only person I told about this, and looky, yeah. Like I said, Knox is super smart. He's super smart, and he might be one of my favorite characters just because of how
third smartest person in the entire series. Third smartest right here.
Yeah, he's very thoughtful. He's very thoughtful, and he sees a big picture. Everyone else is very quick. He tends to be like,
it's like he has more information. He knows more than everyone else that's going on.
Yeah,
I agree. Knox is setting up Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Walker's been pissing me off anyway.
Yeah, Walker's been kind of grinding on my nerves.
You know what grinds my gears?
I can't do a Peter Griffin. Otherwise, I try the accent.
Here you go. Porter delivery request. Russell Conroy supply. So that's his last name's Conroy. So when you go to that classroom, that's how they got the last name Conroy. Now this goes back. We're back in with Patrick Kennedy and Kathleen Billings in here. She's patching up the hole in his shoulder, and he's telling her, "You didn't see it. You weren't by a computer, so you don't know what Juliet showed everybody. If you saw, you saw what was outside. It was beautiful. You saw like the sun and birds, and I don't know what they were. This green stuff called grass or whatever. He was saying how beautiful this stuff was, and he's just blowing her up, just filling her up with all this information when she doesn't know what to do with it. Setting her up. I mean, he's not setting her up intentionally, but it's definitely making her be
like she's getting like hyped up. She's getting excited, and you're feeding this like this flame she has inside of her now. Yeah.
Which is exactly what happened with Holston's wife, right? Allison was just the exact same way. So what you guys said made sense.
Yeah.
So both Shirley and Knox saw how funny Walker's been acting, and she even looked like she was ready to just say, "It was me. You found out it was me." Walker's been pissing me off ever since she was walking around again. She should have stayed in the shop.
Oh, guys, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, she should have stayed. Like
That's what the other Walker did. He was staying in the shop the whole time. So Knox didn't get the gunpowder from supply like he said to Walker. He got it from that one dude. Wasn't that more mechanical or whatever? Because he was the one building all the stuff.
Oh yeah.
So what's the supply?
Yeah.
Good catch. Patrick Kennedy steals every scene he's in.
He is. He's so good. I don't know if it's the actor or what. He's so entertaining.
He's a gem. Yeah. He is messy. Yes, great point. But yeah, he's feeling all this stuff. Like, why are you telling my wife all this stuff? And I have to explain to her what's going on.
Bro, I told you to shut up and you keep talking.
That's all you do is talk to her. Good Lord. You ain't going over there. You don't let his bandages just rot. I don't care. This dude making problems. And he's telling, hey, I'm telling you, if you would saw it, you would know it's possible that outside the world is good. It's possible we could live out there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shut the F up. Leave my woman alone. He ain't like doing anything but just putting thoughts in her mind, and it's going to hit. He's already having problems. Billings already having a problem. Now we're gonna have when you can't control her either.
Yeah. She's getting like worked up. She's like you know, it's building up where she's going to, I think,
I want
like,
out.
Yeah, you know.
So
Yeah.
you did see what happened before, right? There were bodies before. I want the good tape too. I want out, but I want the good tape.
The good stuff. Yeah.
All right, so now we go back to Lucas, and he is deciphering more and more of the message. And he says, reasons be damned. If you don't believe me, go to the very bottom of the silo. Find the tunnel. You will get confirmation there.
So, all right. So does he know what the safeguard is?
Yes.
I did they ask him? He goes, or did they ask him? I don't remember.
Yes, they say, do you know what the safeguard is? And he says, I do.
Okay.
So I think they didn't share with us what the safeguard is, but he knows what the safeguard is, and it's dangerous. Yeah. I think that's what he knew he had to go.
Yeah, because the only other people never said anything about it. You know, Salvador Quinn knew he had to save the silo, you know, so he created his whole, you know, fake, you know, revolution and stuff. You know, that Meadows found out about it. But then George found out about it. But even George
he didn't talk to George. So the big voice didn't ever talk to George.
Oh, it didn't?
No, he said, I only talked to the first two, Salvador Quinn. I talked to Mary Meadows.
Oh, that's
I
right.
Never talked to George.
Yeah. 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 But I mean, I maybe I was the only one after this episode. You know, I'm like, what's the safeguard? Me and my girlfriend looked at each other. We're like, what is it? She's like,
I think he wrote it down. I think we're going to see that he wrote it down later somewhere else.
Hopefully next episode.
The score behind Lucas, the show theme was so good. My heart was pounding during his journey. Yes. And as he was fighting his confidence, finding who he really is as we were going along, it was very good. The music, everything you felt every scene that they were in. So Lucas lies. He don't know what the safeguard is. Who told him? I think it was part of something else that he uncovered. I do believe he does know.
Yeah. I just hope we find out. I hope we know.
The voice couldn't talk to George because he didn't have clearance. So he didn't say anything to him. He saw the thing. But it's also possible that George didn't go all the way over there. He saw the door but didn't actually go in.
That too. But also, I was thinking like
everyone else is an IT shadow.
Exactly. Everyone was IT shadow, which means they were being watched. What, you know, if George was doing it, he was doing it in secret, you know, so
but they still knew who George was.
They still knew. Yeah.
That's crazy.
They might have found out after the fact of it, you know. We're like, oh shit, somebody's at the door. You know, like what do we do? You know, and then you start finding out about him, and then you kind of.
But they knew his first and last name. They knew his government name. I mean, that's the thing. Like they have to be watching them. This has to be some type of big experiment for you to know everything about them. You see the cameras that you see, but you don't see the cameras that you don't see. You don't know.
Yeah.
So, right, Nikisha. Yes, the way the music built, it was perfect.
It was a great scene, man. It was a great scene.
I think the being in the shadow is what gave him clearance.
Yeah,
but if that's what they're looking for, then is it possible that it is AI? If you're looking for that clearance, then maybe it is AI and not a person.
Like it can go either way, and I'll be happy. You know, if they're like, "Oh, this is all like an AI is Big Brother," or if there's just like a handful of people, you know, of people who are running the thing behind the scenes.
So I'm with your theory, Nikisha. The voice ignored him. If he knew, why would he go down there and risk their lives? He told his mom that he lied on her because he's a coward. And I think he's trying to prove that he's not a coward, to be more than that coward. Because I think he does believe that Juliet might be alive.
Yeah.
they'd have a control panel monitoring all doors, right? But not below. I mean, I guess the founders would have it, but the rest of the silo wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You'll get confirmation there. Okay. So he goes Emerson and says, "Hey, look, bro, I need to know where Bernard is right now." And he's like, "Look, I can't share with information." And he's like, "Look, I need to know this for the safety of the silo." And he said, "For the safety of your life, you better let go of my arm, bro." Letting you know, it's the last time you get warned.
Yeah, it reminded me of like all his like inner Sims like came out, like
but I think you realize that Lucas is a little geeky dude. He was like, "Look, bro, I'm gonna throw you over the edge of the silo, and not anyone's going to convict me. So you need to just let me go now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then it proves like the dude. I always forget his name, but he's not as cold blooded. Yeah. He's not as cold blooded because he gave that very 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 real threat. But then as he got a little away, he's like, "Listen, man, this is what I was told."
Yeah, but if he didn't let him go, I think he would flip him over.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. I'm not saying that. But I think he's got a little bit more of a heart than like somebody like Sims when Sims was doing this.
That's because Sims the boogeyman.
It's legit.
And he tells him, he won't be available to this evening, which also tells Lucas that I have some time. I can get away.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
All right, so this is Knox back in Walker's apartment, talking to her about all this stuff and saying, "We're going to get her back. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay." And just the way she's acting, the way she looks so fake and phony. I'm on your side, that he's setting her up because it just seemed so fake. Like she's hoping for someone to catch her.
Yeah, her whole attitude changed. She went from like, screw your missions, screw what you're doing. Like, there's only one thing we need to worry about is we have to go get what's her name back, And now she's like, yeah, I'm just in here, just doing my thing. It's like it's very different, and
I can't get out until I have my wife. I can't do anything until Carla's here with me. I can't do anything else.
Carla. Yeah. So I think Knox knows. Knox knows 100%.
He knows. There's got to be a main hub or a master silo monitoring, controlling all the other silos, or not even from a silo, maybe from outside. Maybe not all outside. Maybe they're causing the poison to be outside, and they're watching how they're reacting.
There's still the dome theory that you have too. That's a good theory. So yeah. Just a real evil version of the Truman Show, but with everybody instead of just one person.
Or even like the Scorch trials.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. With live peeps in the running stuff like IT does, but for AI silos, but all silos, but how were they appointed? Who are they? This show is so good.
All good questions.
I wonder why Bernard doesn't know about the tunnel or the doors. The only way a person can find out about that is if they discover it that exists on their own. I wonder why the head of IT can't know, or that he's not curious enough to figure it out on his own.
Yeah. Or I mean,
or is he trying to run the dome? He might be. No, he doesn't because Meadows knew.
Yeah.
And we all already heard who are the people that have seen this.
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Bernard is not one of them.
Yeah.
And maybe he's not curious enough. Maybe he doesn't think that much. Or maybe he's so busy running the silo that he can't think outside the box.
Yeah, I think he's that kind of person that, like how Billings is with the pack. I think Bernard's kind of like that with
the order.
Because we saw him stick to it. Even when Meadows said, "Hey, this is a better idea. Why don't we do this? And obviously he ignored it and did exactly what the book told him to do. So
Even though she had more knowledge than he did. She knew more than he did. She couldn't tell him that though.
Yeah.
So, a dome. Yes.
Cool.
Dome does make sense. It does. And Quinn knew.
Yeah, Quinn knew. Yeah, Quinn knew. Like all the shadows knew. You know, this is the third shadow.
The one that could think. So Bernard likes delegating, period.
Yeah, I think so. I think he likes the power to tell people to go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he seems like he was the wizard when he's in front of all the screens. He's like, yeah, or the architect from the Matrix.
Yeah,
that's he always reminds me of.
Yeah,
I mean, why don't they just tell the head of IT to make sure no one ever goes down there? But someone has to tell him. He doesn't even know about it.
Yeah,
he doesn't trust anyone down there, right? Mechanical, he doesn't trust them.
Yeah,
so he's not going to go down there to visit.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to figure the entire time the silo has been, inhabited, like there's only 4 people now. And 3 of them are George, Salvador, Meadows, and now Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that's got to be what 300 and something. I think they said 350 years or something like that. Only 4 people found out about this thing, so it's a well kept secret. Until Salvador left some secret, left the clues behind. Without Salvador leaving the clues behind, Meadows would not have found out. No one else. It would just be just him. So
and he put these clues in because he knew if he told them that all of a sudden there'd be consequences.
Exactly. Whatever the safeguard would happen. So
who from up top goes down will go do that for him? No one.
Yeah.
They could put that knowledge in the order, but maybe they don't want to put that knowledge in the order.
That's what I think. They have to keep it quiet somehow or for some reason.
They're waiting for someone. They're waiting for the one.
They're waiting for the one.
Solo isn't the official shadow. Does that mean the technology never interacted with him all this time? So he learned everything just from reading the books? That's probably exactly right, because no one ever said anything. He doesn't have an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he probably never got to that point. You see Bernard looking at all the screens, checking out all the stuff, hearing stuff too. I was like, dude, how you got speakers too, man? You get to hear everything.
I know. Got all the good tech.
Like, man, you got everything. It don't make no damn sense. Got some good chairs. And of course, Knox just baiting, and Walker's just can't say anything, but she just feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sends time to talk. He said they have a plan. What is it? She's like, dude, you told me I can't leave. So what the hell? You heard what I heard. I can't go outside. Where the hell do you think I have a plan? It says, remember, the camera stays on and you never leave if you ever want to see your wife again. You can't just keep on threatening his wife, because you know what's going to happen? All this smoke screen is going on. They're gonna go and steal Carla, because they now have Billings, and Billings knows. And when he went to talk to the rest of those deputies, they didn't care 2 craps about what he said. About Bernard. So
yeah.
All right. So now Lucas goes and finds his mom.
Oh, it's such a good scene.
And she's like, "You've been out. Last time I got a note that you're going to the mines for 10 years, and now you tell me you've been out. You never came to see anything about me. Tell me what's going on." And he's like, "Mom, I need you to take this pact and hide it." And she's like, "Nah, bro, I ain't hiding nothing. Because last time you were just in the mines. You trying to put me in the mines too?"
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Look, Mom, I had a chance to help Juliet, and I was too much of a coward, and I said I had to take care of you because I was afraid, you know, and I'm trying to change those things. And to do that, I need you to hide this pact. I'm trying to make myself better. And she picks it back up and she holds on to it. He gives her a hug and kiss and says, I gotta go. And she's worried for her son, but you know, he goes.
Yeah.
Okay. She says the one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Neo, I meant that. Neo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, that scene with the mom was so good. It was so good because like she's worried about him, but it mad at him, you know, but understanding like he has to do this, you know, like he has to you know,
better
redeem
himself
for himself, you know, yeah.
You know, for his own state of mind. He just says, I'm not a huge fan of George fan, but he's pretty smart to figure out so much without being a shadow. And no one else helped him. He had like one book. He figured it all out.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't have like the AI. You can just ask away.
He's just that type of person. He said, well, the hard drive helped George a lot. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Great point, Miss Honey. That's true. Yeah. And Allison. Yeah, good point. Because Allison came and helped him with all that, the hard drive. So it's them coming together. So, you know, that was good. It had a floor plan with the tunnels doors on it. Yeah. Lakeisha says, as a mom, I forgive Lucas on behalf of all moms. I'm sure you have no ulterior motives at all, Lakeisha. You just because of it, you know, he's Lucas. Yeah, you're right. And as Tank listens for his Lucas, which is the name of one of his kids. So yeah, he's checking out. So Lucas's mom seemed done with him when he walked in, like they had a strained relationship, or maybe she just was he was gone, and she felt like, how dare you not come back and check on me? I thought that was a big thing.
Hey, give me a second. I gotta run upstairs real quick. Yep. My bad.
I know Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the women of Silo are strong. She said she just went on with her life while he was on lockdown. Yeah, very much so. Exactly, Miss. Yeah, I think she recognized that you have to be there. You have to allow him to be who he's going to become. Let him, you know, blossom into that, and hope that he comes out on the other end. But yes, it's so funny because the pact says when you become a mom, you're just a vessel, right? And that you have to, you know, then now become a background character. And it seems like that's the exact opposite what happened to every single woman of this silo, that they become stronger, you know, they become the backbone of everything that goes on in the silo. And I know we haven't gotten there yet, but the end of the episode, when Sims was talking to Camille, and she says, you know, hey, they're gonna need someone to lead them. And Sim says, no, they can't trust me. And he looks at her and he says, you know, and she said, it'll be me. It has to be me, right? And he looks at her like, yeah. And he was so comfortable in himself that he said, yeah. And it's like she supported him through all this, and he was going to support her through that too. And I think that's going to be very interesting going forward. But we'll get to that when we get there. All right, so Juliet's looking through his room, trying to find a closet. She opens up a closet and she finds a bag. She opens the bag and she sees something. And they say, hey, you see anything? And she's like, no, just keep on looking. And then they find, you know, Bobby Parsons, and they see Conroy, and then she realizes, oh, he was the IT's son, the IT Shadow's son. And that really became a lot of stuff. He says, yes, I love how the show writes all the characters, especially the women. It's because the pact itself was very sexist, right? Telling you could not be more. You have to become less. You have to just a vessel. You are like the silo itself. But they took that and they turned it on its head and said, like, we're the silo itself. We're the strength of the silo. And they became that. And I believe almost every mother in that silo has been more and more important as we go along. I love the way they've kind of outlined mothers and how important they are to the community, to the silo overall. And how it's okay to be a strong woman and still be a mother, and they didn't lose that. I love that. I love it.
Yeah. Well, even in the other silo, you know, because once Solo found out about a baby, it's like, oh shit, you think about his parents and stuff like that. So like the importance of kids and parents and mothers.
But how strong they are. They've shown how strong mothers are, and they've highlighted it, and I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Says Camille is a real one. 100%. I am with Camille. I told you guys every time we talk about Camille, I'm like, man, that's the wife you want. That's the one you want. Now, she might be making some bad decisions sometimes. She might be making decisions on her own sometimes, but you forgive her because I think that's what you really need. You need a true partner.
Yeah, that's loyalty right there.
Yeah.
But it's a true partnership. Like, you are both. She's there to support him, and she was pushing Sims as much as she needs to push him, whatever. And then when it turned out it could not be him, he turned and said, I'm a partner for you. I'm going to push you. And I thought that was key, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And that was great to see. And that's what a real marriage really should be, right? I'm going to support you, and you can support me. Yeah.
So yeah, seeing them back on the same page, like for good, like really on the same page again was interesting.
I think he realizes how she was right. Isn't that the worst thing in the world? I'm tired of that. Every time you turn around, your wife gotta be right. Good Lord, I'm tired of this stuff, man. It's horrible. I'm just kidding. I'll laugh at Camille acting like she was reluctant leader. Like, oh, I guess I have to be the leader. Like she ain't plotting the whole time. Oh man, Camille, yeah, she's awesome, man. Power couple Sims, yes, exactly, guys. All right, so Lucas says finally realized that I need to go back, I need to go down, and he's like, look, I can't let you go. And he's like, dude, I am IT Shadow. You have to let me go, and I want to tell someone that you resist, making me stop what I'm doing. So they let him through, and as soon as he goes through, they grab him up, they lock him up, him up, and he's like, well, I know I have to do this for the safety of the silo. They're like, we ain't care nothing about that, nothing at all, and they're gonna wrap him up and lock him up. And he says, I know Juliet. So they go get Shirley. Don't go get Shirley. Big Shirley ain't playing. So now Bernard goes to talk to all the rest of the deputies, saying, hey, we found out the plot. They were going to blow open the silo door with that gunpowder. And you know who gave him the idea? Like, who gave him the idea? The sheriff gave him the idea. Billings was the one who did this, and he's the new corrupt one. And all of them looking the whole time like as he's talking, like, what the fuck is this dude doing? What is he talking about? No one looks like they believe him, not even a little bit. And everything that Sims told him before seems to come to fruition because no one believes him. No one wants to be support of him.
Yeah. Well, because they all know Billings, and now you're seeing all this crazy shit, and they all have these questions of things that happened before, with IT's lights staying on and stuff like that. So they have doubt, and then you come out and say something so blatantly like wrong. You know what I mean? Like, no, Billings would not do that.
Blow it open. Let's kill everybody. That was him.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Because I feel like it's also like this is the start of Bernard. Like, you can only lie so much, before people start calling bullshit. And
Cried wolf.
Yeah, You know, and the people starting to, I think, kind of notice. You know, they're like, "Nah, we know this dude." You know,
How many
like,
sheriffs are you gonna kill and say that they were all corrupt? How many times are you gonna say
right?
that sheriff was corrupt too? This is the third
Yeah.
one in a row. It's been like 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah,
3 weeks, all
like
three of the sheriffs.
all these people keep dying. A mayor died, a sheriff died, his deputy died. Like, you know, the replacement sheriff got sent out. Like,
exactly. Like come on. No,
yeah.
so it's the sheriff, his
Another
deputy, you know, the next sheriff was walking, the judge is dead, and you know, and now you tell me this next sheriff is the one out, and this is all happened in 3 weeks since you've been mayor. All right,
right, yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So maybe Camille's a Michelle Obama descendant. I like that. All right, so we're back in Silo 17, and they're starting to figure out Solo a little bit more. And they realize, oh man, okay, so he's probably the son. So what's going on? So I need to go talk to him. Now we go back to 18, and we see Lucas Kyle locked up to to the banister, and Shirley coming and says, "You don't know her. How do you think you know her? Come on, man, whatever." And he says, "I know about George. I know all about her. And I should have been there to support her, and I didn't. I need you to take me down below. I'll tell you, I think she might be alive. I'll tell you all about my thoughts if you take me below."
Yeah.
And that was one thing you had to do to get Shirley. Then we go back to Billings, and this is Knox talking. They're all talking it out, and Knox says, "I got it. I know who it is." You know, and
I forgot what somebody said
Hank,
that triggered it for him. I forgot what was said, but
no, he was saying, so your note got through. You know, so he's
that's right.
And then Billings says, "But I don't know if my note gets to the person I wanted to get it to. How would I know?"
Mm-hmm.
And
like how is stuff getting through the barricade?
Yeah, and then he thought, I think he realized that Knox actually left the barricade. She actually went up.
That Walker. Yeah.
That Walker, I'm sorry, Walker actually went up and saw and went through. So it wouldn't be a pass of notes. How would you know specifics with a note?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he knows that she's the one set him up.
Mm-hmm. But he's smart enough not to go in there and just
accuse
her.
Accuse.
Like Shirley would go in there, start cracking skull, start throwing shit over. But Knox is smart enough where he's like, I have to find out for sure, and then
play the long game. Figure it out.
Yeah.
I think Billings integrity used to get in on their nerves. The deputies aren't buying Bernard. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now when they go low, Camille goes lower. Camille better get her hair looked up for the inauguration. Hey, she don't get her hair hooked up, it's gonna be real. She gonna have some finger waves. She gonna have it all on tight. It's gonna be good. She'll be all right. Camille got that good hair. It's all right. Whatever. I don't know what that means, but it is what it is. This was interesting. Hey, Billings, someone's at the barrier for you. So who did you think was at the barrier when you heard this?
I thought, I'm like, oh, they're gonna lead him to the barrier, and they're like, gotcha, you're under arrest. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, and I was worried. I'm like, don't go to the barrier, don't do it, don't do it. They're just gonna get you.
Yeah, could have been an ambush.
Yeah,
kill the dude or lock him up, like you said.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
When he said that I passed the note on, I knew, and they said the only person that we could trust before, they said, was Camille. You know, and that's what made me think. I thought it was Camille.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, okay, so he get a note to Camille. Is Camille doing more things without talking to to her husband again? Is this what's going on? And it wasn't. So I was happy to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes up there. Oh, well, Now we have to go back to 17 because Juliet figured it all out. She says, no, I need to go talk to him now. If we need to get to the Barry, I already did the two wrong ones. He has to give us the numbers, and I can get him to give me the numbers. Take me to him now. And the only smart person there decides to take her, and she's talking to Solo, and you find out more about Solo. And this whole scene
so
really
good.
got me. What'd you guys think about it? Since you want to, this is one of the best scenes. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on it.
Yeah. You want to go first, my man?
Yeah. Steve freaking Zahn, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No, just his performance and what he was conveying was just what really grabbed my attention in this scene. Like I said, this episode was really for me like a Solo deep dive, and it was a Steve Zahn deep dive because he's just really underrated as an actor, and I think this was just I like when actors really get to showcase, and that's what I was getting out of this scene in particular. Because refresh my memory, was this the flashback scene, or am I thinking something different?
No, this is the time when he's in the little jail and she's talking to him right now, and you're going to get again the
when him and Juliet are talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the scene was awesome. The scene was awesome just in terms of acting merit between Steve Zahn and Rebecca Ferguson. Like this like really hit me. I was like, holy crap, just kind of seeing how they were performing, even though they've been performing kind of like one-on-one throughout the entire season. For whatever, just kind of considering the content and what was going on in the context of this scene, it especially stood out to me, especially on an emotional level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what really grabbed me in this particular scene.
Yeah. It's just like finding out, the stuff that we all kind of thought,
kind of speculated.
We speculated for so long, like,
mm-hmm.
he was young. He was,
mm-hmm.
we didn't know how young, but he was pretty young, but getting all of it told where, this poor kid, this poor kid. And then, the last thing you're told by your father is don't let anybody in, like you're gonna defend that to the day you die, so that's why it's almost like he's also going off of what the kids are, the kids want to kill him because like you killed our parents, but he's like, like this is what my dad told me before he died,
mm-hmm.
So it's like just trying to do your parents proud kind of thing, but it's also being afraid and scared and
also,
who wouldn't be emotionally stunted after that?
Exactly.
The entire season.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was so emotional when Juliet says, "You're missing the point."
Yeah,
not opening the door. He is proud of you for not opening the door. The reason why he didn't want you to open the door is to save you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with any of this other stuff. And as she's speaking to him, all of them are starting to understand what's going on. They're starting to understand at 12 years old, how would they act? How are these things going on? It is so...
How they've been acting,
mm-hmm. They're feeling the exact same way.
Yeah.
And
but especially like them being young, they can relate to it with their parents because their parents are very much, like they haven't been gone for long, and now becoming a parent, so it's like they're in that place where they have both like set of views,
mm-hmm.
And oh man, that's why this whole scene was just so good. And I think it also like it shows, like, because I know you guys were talking earlier when I had left, was the importance of like mothers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like what I think they're pointing out here is like to save the silo isn't just to save this physical place. To save the silo is the people. It's the continuation of life and this community and each other. So but then that's where it starts getting sidetracked with people struggling for power when it's just about life and living, and loving each other, and
So Julia could have saved herself a bunch of times if she just yelled out, "There's a baby in here." Solo. That's it.
What are you doing?
I thought this was hilarious when he said,
yeah.
If they can make wool, they can make weaves. I'm trying not to laugh. Oh my god. So let me some goofy Solo. I can't lie, you definitely wondering what the melanated women put in their hair. The curls be popping. I'm like, for real, man. Got that long braid. But you know what it is? Not putting any chemicals in your hair from the get-go. That's all it is.
From the
get-go. It's in whatever they put in the water to make you forget. Also probably relax your hair.
It's good for the hair. It's good for the skin.
Solo broke my heart. This was so touching. Yes, exactly. Okay, Nikisha, I haven't seen no Vaseline, no lotion. What's y'all secret? It's the water, man. I'm telling you.
The water.
The actor who plays Solo is brilliant. This part was made for him.
Yeah, Steve Zahn absolutely crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Because he's legit playing a man child. And I know that sounds like stupid, but that's exactly what he is. He's
no, you're absolutely right.
He's stuck at 12, and he's stuck at this I gotta do what my dad said kind of stage, but yet he's 40 something. Yeah.
But that's why it was made for him. Like, we've seen him in so many of these other shows, and it's just hilarious. I mean, works. But then also the touching part is so good.
It's so good.
He knows how to play both sides of the line, and it's this scene specifically right here. This moment when all of them realize what's going on. It was so hard. They really could put themselves in his place recently, and as he starts to understand right here, he's like, oh my god, this is what happened. And he says, they came and attacked me, I left the gun, they shot me, I locked the door, and they suffocated. He didn't physically go out and kill anyone. He's still
a lot of fear.
He's reacting out of fear, and there's nothing else I can do. But they have a gun. So what else can I do? I'm going to save myself. And he started to realize, oh, what would I do in this situation too?
Also, the first thing I realized, I'm like, I forgot whose kid is what, but at least the murderer's gene gets passed down. Damn, man, the whole episode she wants to kill him, and then you find out they went in there to try to kill Solo.
Yep, because they're trying to get in. They found out the combination.
Yeah.
Permutations, combinations.
Yeah, but Solo just being a scared little boy, is just
what they didn't believe him, and then you see the wound. And it was funny because Juliet was able to get him to show it, and that's vulnerability. Really to allow someone to raise your shirt up and show this point where it's a terrible memory for him. So this is the moment where he dishonored his father.
Yeah,
for him in his mind. Man, so emotional.
But it also goes show their relationship, in this short amount of time, Juliet, and she's been a little bit of a dick to him sometimes. I think more annoyed, by his childishness. But for the most part, he knows, she treated him well, where she can trust him, because at any point she could have done, some stuff and killed him or whatever, So
he also saved her life.
Yeah,
there's a two-way street. He saved her life. He spoke truth to her. Yeah. But of course, she's still about the murder. Look, stop. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Murder. And this
scene, man.
Give me a second, because man, when you saw the sheriff take the gun, and this once again we said this is reflection, like you've seen this in 17, this is what's going to happen in 18. Seeing this scene made me think about, is this what's going to happen to Lucas? Is this going to be Sims and Lucas? Is this Billings driven mad to this? Is it with Bernard and Lucas on the other side saying you can't open up? Is this the same thing we're going to get? But
it being the sheriff, it's just because you forget, because we haven't talked about the beginning of the rebellion since the first episode, and you forget like the sheriff was one of the main guys in leading that rebellion, but it's a dude who's supposed to be law and order, doing it, yeah.
But not just doing it, but doing it in front of his son.
Yeah.
His dad says, "Don't open the door," and he thinks it's because what's behind the door, and not realizing it's because of him. Because if he's willing to shoot me, he'll be willing to shoot you. And look at those eyes. Woo, man, man, that is, you can see the innocence, and then it cuts away. So,
yeah.
Ooh, that scene.
No, I think they show it, don't they? And they show it in.
Yeah, they show him and see him dragging away. So
yeah,
I wasn't gonna do that. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not.
No. It is very like. Yeah, it was very.
I'm not just. It's just. But do you think he went full man child? Was it too much for anyone? Did anyone feel like it was too much?
No, I think it makes sense considering the nature of the character. I'm absolutely fine with it. I think it's just the right amount, and Steve Zahn plays it just right. Could have been really easy to go overboard, but I think that he gets the character that he's playing. I think he does it just right.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
She says, "I personally love his character, and I think he's playing it perfectly."
Yeah.
And Keisha says, "I can't imagine being asleep and waking up to being shot."
Yeah.
Miss Honey says, "Juliet and Solo built a sibling-like bond during their time together. She's the big sister, of course, even though he's probably older."
I was gonna say he's probably older, but she's the big sister.
The sheriff irony is jarring.
Yeah.
So my hand slipped.
Yeah.
I gasped even when I knew what was going to happen. This made me fear for Sims' son.
Ooh.
I love that, Keisha. Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't think about, because you kind of assume being a kid and being very much a background character, you just kind of assume that character is safe. But considering where they're going with Sims,
that's the most logical child that's going to, you're trying to save him in the vault, because he's going to get the key from Bernard and put his son in there, and then they kill Sims because he's the one that they don't trust.
Yeah.
Keisha says Solo's eyes have changed color over the years. That's a clue, I think.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that.
Dr. Dev, that was hard to watch, but the sheriff said that to her with a little emotion. It was just dragged the body, blood right there.
Yeah,
it's an interesting observation, Keisha, especially with the eye color. Yeah, I agree.
Always forget about that.
What up, B?
What's going on,
man? I wonder why they were drawing pictures of eyes in the classroom. What does that do? Was that part of their water? What, maybe each silo had different type of experiment. That maybe that's why that silo had the books and you're able to read and things like that in this silo, but not in other silos. Maybe it was different. Salvador Quinn was only for silo 18.
Yeah.
So this is true, G's. I did like how that quite came back around in this episode though. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So now we see them talking. Sims and Billings Center talking at the bars, and I'm gonna give you this relic. And he's like, yeah. It came down 100 stores to not get the relic. Give me the relic, Billings. And he's like, if I give this to you, you're gonna know what's going on. You're going to know what's right to what the right thing is to do.
Mm.
And their conversation was crazy because he basically told him, I really didn't want to talk to you. I wanted to talk to your wife because that's the one I trust. That's the one they trust. But you're the only one I can get the message to.
Yeah.
And I think that sat with Sims, a lot. Like, oh, wow, maybe she is doing the right thing. Maybe she's been playing it right the whole time, and I've been telling her to not do these things.
Yeah.
And I was wrong.
Yeah. That's how I got. Like, it was like more of a realization that like she has trust of the people, while he has, the fear, and the fear is fine in certain situations, but I feel like I think he's starting to realize, like, right now with what's going on, like, you need to have the trust of people.
Yep.
That the fear isn't going to do anything when everyone is afraid of a lot of other different things, So like the fear of the boogeyman is nothing when, the fear of death, the fear of starvation, the fear of, other stuff, like that trumps like the boogeyman coming and kidnapping you. It's like that's not even on my list of things to be scared about right now.
I don't know if that was the thing, but as much as it was, if you're going to get a leader, you can't lead by fear. If the silo's going to need a leader, they'll never trust you just because of fear.
Yeah.
And if all you have is fear, then you don't have anyone honoring you, you have no one giving you respect or any of that other stuff, then you're never going to be the leader. And the only one that had that, and she made the right move by letting them go, they will always be able to have a piece of trust with that.
Yeah.
Bring what Keisha's been talking about. Maybe they drew eyes because that's all they've seen of Solo up to now. They only saw his eyes through the vault door.
Yeah.
That's a very good thought.
Yeah.
In the kids' classroom, the artwork on the wall included drawing of eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And we knew that was like their headquarters. So
eyes are seen in much of the graffiti too.
Oh, I would have to check that out. Yeah.
So I gotta pay more attention to these details.
Yeah.
These details are crazy, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if that means someone's watching. Solo wouldn't tell Juliet what happened to his eye either. I also wonder if it's the pressure or if it's poison or any of that stuff. He was the only one alive. He was the only one alive during all that stuff when the poison came in and killed everybody. He was the only one alive. And once again, we saw the other girl said her mother got sick. What did her mother get sick? She was a baby when all this stuff happened. What did she get sick of?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I focus on more character and dialogue, I guess.
Which, I mean, the show does great with that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think it does so great with it. But, the Silo is like almost like a character, like especially in Silo 17, the one with Juliet and Solo. Like the environment is almost its own character, So.
And this is Chief says, Miss Honey, it's so dark on that show. I've been watching the episode a few times and looked for different things, and I think they intentionally do that. They put things out there, but they make it dark so you don't realize how important that specific thing was. If it was in the light, you could see it really easily, but if they give you the detail, it's more like a foreshadowing, and only people who are really looking at it are going to find it.
Yeah.
So Paul gives him the stuff. Now we go back to Shirley taking Lucas down below. She's telling him, "Hey, I've known this for a year, but I haven't been down this deep in a long time since we were kids. Yeah, I think Juliet took George down here a lot. You know, and you saw Lucas kind of like, man, F George." And they're talking about a lot of things about what's down low. She said there's a lot of water down there. He's like, I don't think it's deep. I think there's a way to get around it. And then when she says that, now we go back to Walk and Knox. Knox comes in. Hey, I think we have an idea. We're going to take the rest of the stuff we got from supply, all the gunpowder, and we're going to do something with it. We have a plan. And he says, let you know, we're going to get her back. We're going to get her back. And of course, Bernard sees all this stuff. He's sharing information that he shouldn't be sharing. And Bernard is interested in it, and he feels like he got all the answers he needed.
That little smirk, man. That little like, hi, I'm the smartest man. Kind of like,
caught the canary. Got him.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because if you're right, if you guys are right, and he's setting him up. What if he sets him up and he doesn't try to do this to because he's giving Walker kind of letting her know, I don't blame you for doing what you're doing because I'm not going to punish you. But what if he does? He goes gets Carla because of it. He sets up Bernard and goes gets Carla because with Billings' help.
Yeah, I mean, he says it when he tells her. He's like, oh, I think it's this person. But I can't blame this person because they're doing it for a love
or family.
Loved one. So so it's like so she's saying like hey, I know it's somebody, and the person that's doing it is doing it because they love somebody, and they're kind of like getting like blackmailed, kind of in a sense. So it's like he's dropping the hints, and I wonder if she's
picking them up,
Yeah,
no idea. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I just hate how stupid they made her this season, especially this second half of the season.
Because she was one of the smartest characters, and now she's
so smart.
Yeah, why did they intellectually nerf her this time?
When we compare it to the book, I will talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Right. Yeah, me, I haven't read the books yet. I haven't gotten around to them.
It's a nice. The Silo is a character itself. Yes. Good on y'all, G's. Yeah. I wonder if Solo was outside at some point because he knew it was a nice day outside, unless he saw on the cameras. Great point, Akeisha. How did he know it was a nice day?
Yeah.
I'm really hoping Knox is using a fake on-cam plot to get Walker back on track and mess with Bernard. I think you guys are right. You've definitely convinced me that that's what's going on. He is faking this plan out, and he's going to go get Carla and pull her back out. Keisha says, "I'm with George. I'm with Lucas. F George. It's so unbelievable that Juliet chose George's dead self over handsome Lucas showing her the stars and poetry." Shaking my head. It never pays to be the nice guy. That's what That's what you figure it out. We all figured it out in high school. Like, man, get it. So I hope so too, Miz. He said, and then the dust came. How did Solo see that? So this stuff, we're assuming that Solo's been in there since before they opened the door. Right?
Yeah. They had to. Because when they opened the door, the sheriff
was out there. Maybe they saw the truth of what's outside, and then they know that what's going on until they open the door. Maybe there's screens there. Just like, remember, we see Bernard seeing all these screens. Maybe there's screens. It's a room with screens in there in the vault. And she says, if I was in the silos, Lucas and I would be married with kids. I feel you. You gotta be gentle with Lucas. Says, I'll still Sims for Camille. Camille will kill you.
All right.
She'll just kill you. And be like, blame someone else. She did it. See, I will be so gentle with little kids.
You sit there like, show me the stars. Show me the stars.
Do it again. I told you to do it again. Camille will give you to him when she's done being the boss. Wow. You guys are great. So, give them to you. Hell yeah. The Sims protect me. Remember, Camille's a Sims too. So he's a ruffian. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. Oh, I wish I could cry laughing some more. All right, so we go back into this silo in 17, and you see Solo opening the vault. You see, the kids looking at their parents, seeing that everything that Solo said was true. They suffocate. He didn't actually kill them. And it's the first time we see the inside of the vault in Silo 17. And all the pinwheels and drawings and sculptures and the graffiti. It looks like a teenager's room, origami, all that stuff. And you see and we can compare to Silo 18 to now to Silo 17 and how a child does all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And he tried out everything he learned, and I guess he did speak into a lot of this stuff because he got a lot of information.
Yeah. I mean, when you're just by yourself and you're bored, and you have like almost unlimited knowledge at your fingertips, is fill your time with learning, I guess.
So you see the kids being walked in, and he's like, I know you guys are hungry. I know what to do. Before we get some food, let's get some ice cream. They don't even know what they're getting. They don't even know. Makes me so sad. How you not know I buy ice cream? So they're sitting there just walking around with eating the ice cream like, oh man, I got my own ice cream still. That's so amazing. And you see, I think Lakeisha said, did you guys see the equations written on the chalkboard? Solo must be really smart. Well, he learned a lot of stuff because if you look on this, even here, he's talking about, S equals side. So he's doing, this is the differential equations. This is actually, I guess, Calc 3, the sum of, as the equation goes to infinity, from x equals to 0 of x, the n with n on the bottom, and going in with an exclamation point is like n minus 1 and n going forever. So this is like Calc 2, Calc 3. That means he probably has physics. He probably has differential equations and stuff like that. All that type of knowledge is being taught to him. And I appreciate that. I'm an engineer, so I appreciate that stuff. So. And then they finally see the solar system. They don't even know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
But this entire silo just looks different, right? And creative. Yeah. And, what would a kid do with all the time and all the knowledge available to him?
Yeah.
And they ran around and they're touching stuff. He's like, all right, don't touch that. Oh, yeah, these are drums. You can play with that. And like, okay, what do drums do?
That's like a part I kind of chuckled at, because it was like a 12-year-old's room when like a toddler comes in,
Yep.
He's like, don't touch it. Don't touch that toy. Don't touch that. But also it's like you invited them in, so you kind of don't want to scare them off.
The chemical stuff, I think he was having hydrochloric acid, and he had that he was playing with all these chemicals because he's trying to figure out what's going on outside, and that was part of his knowledge. I think if she would have literally poured that or dropped it onto it could have done made problems. So I think that she was actually a problem. So I thought that was cool that he was able to show the music part and all this other stuff. So, and then you see, this is interesting to see how you could tell height about something from where you're looking. See Pythagorean theorem. You can see the height of two different objects from a distance. That's how you can figure out if he's looking outside where things are, how far things are. All that is very cool. So, see what we got. What you guys saying? The show has a short video on with Steve Zahn giving a tour of his vault. Yeah, Tank was talking about that. Yeah. It's very, very cool. Very cool. I love all those things. Those extra kind of shows and inside looks on things that we care about. So I have to go check that out. It's probably here on YouTube. Yeah,
it is.
If one of you guys can pull it up, maybe we can even show them.
See if I can find it again. I forgot what channel it was on.
So Miss Honey, thanks for sharing. That's so cool. I'm going to look at it right after this. So chemistry set may have been from him making antibiotics. Exactly, Dr. Deb. That's so smart.
Yeah.
Imagine having a Monster Mash on vinyl.
Right? No. It'd be crazy.
So, that painting looks like a clue too. And to try to determine things on the height. Maybe he's looking outside and looking at those buildings and how far those really are. And comparing to what you're seeing that's closer. I saw that video. They used some of his vision for the room. The puppets as a substitute for the people was a good idea. Yeah, so you could have, that's how you get socialization. So, is that painting supposed to be a view of the silo from the cafeteria before the tragic event happened?
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Or maybe it's because they like the one we've seen is different. So I wonder if that's their view, because you still have the hill there, but the tree is different and stuff like that. So I wonder, because it's a different silo, they have a slightly different like landscape at least.
Those are all very good questions.
Good point. Yeah.
And I thought this was a very cool scene. See the kids in the corner playing, and you see even Juliet's like just amazed by what she's watching, because this is the first time she's seen. We've as a viewer have seen this stuff, but this is the first time her eyes been open to anything like this. And so it's like, so you want to hear some music? And he's like, well, this music that might be better than ice cream. It really might be. He's right. Music is probably one of the best things ever. And to not have any idea what music is, I mean, you have no joy in life. So it's just to be able to say that. It's awesome. And this is the point where he's going to give her back her suit. And he realizes that she said, I already know there's another suit in there. I found it already. And he realizes that she did all this stuff, everything she just did.
Oh, man.
For him and for them, to make sure that they will be okay in their silo.
It's just such a good scene, because it's like, you just don't, like, you want to like show appreciation, but like you don't know how. Like, does he know what a hug is? Like,
I mean, he's 12, so he was hugged by his dad.
Yeah.
But she's a girl, and that's different. And then also, it's just the touching and the understanding of it, and without having to acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's just
in his face when you see him about to cry, and he realizes, and no one has done anything for him since his father has died and been killed in front of his face. Everyone has been taking from him ever since then. And she was so selfless to do this, saved him, gave him a family that he could look after too, before she left. That's
like she saved this silo. Not only like physically saved it with fixing the pump, but also like saved it by bringing like the last people in it together and
teaching them how to share, and then giving him fixing Solo. I messed up. My dad, that's why I changed my name, because my dad would never, I'm not doing anything right for as a Conroy. And now he realizes, no, I was the precious thing. And now this baby will be the precious thing. And we can live here together. We can figure this out together.
Yeah.
And share. That such a touching thing, man. Oh my God. Like he says, I was crying like a baby at this scene. They were so awkwardly beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so good.
The way Steve Zahn hand hesitated before placing it on his shoulder was incredible.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. I just kind of wish we saw it from like her point of view. Like, you know, because we just see the back of her head, so you don't know what like her reaction was. Like you can kind of guess, but yeah, I would have liked to seen her reaction to it. Yeah.
I love his reaction and his
Yeah.
such a real moment. I agree.
Yeah. Because I'm sure it affected her too, where it's like, you know, like I was able to save people here, you know, like she
I didn't just
their
leave
world
to go back to my silo. I saved them and then went back to my silo.
Yeah.
So I could save my silo too. If I could save this one that's just on my silo, maybe I could save my silo too.
Yeah.
That's like what you said before. I worry that Eder might try to take Juliet's suit. She wants out. Not that I blame her. I think Juliet's going to take her.
That's interesting. I do wonder that. I think that's a very possible. You know,
I think that she's going to see her. She sees herself in her. She realizes that sometimes, you know, she needed Walker. Sometimes you need to move on. Maybe you have all too much trauma. Maybe they'll never accept you. Maybe she allows her to come with her. So Dr. Deb, that is my issue with this season. They have incredibly talented actors, but the writing wasn't good. It seems like it's a waste of talent. They showed it. I remember seeing her smile and put her hand on his shoulder.
Oh, did they show? Okay. Like I said, I gotta watch. I only seen it once. I definitely gotta watch this one a couple more times before the finale.
We'll talk about the finale a little bit later. I understand what you're saying, Jeeves. This episode was awesome, but I think it would have hit even more strongly had the other episodes leading to it had been better. Okay.
I mean, I know you guys are not alone because, like I said, a lot of people in the Facebook groups I'm in, they are not fully digging it. You know, very similar. Like, you know, they call it slow, kind of boring. You know, I don't feel that way, but you know, if you do, I get it. You know?
Yeah, I get why people would. I don't think it's necessarily slow. I think the pacing is fine considering the plot. I think you have to. I think you have to kind of take your time with a show like this rather than speed running it or kind of moving through it as at a fast pace.
I also come from a point where my favorite things are 23, 24 episodes long in the season, right? So, like, you know, if I'm talking about Star Trek, or I'm talking about Supernatural, I'm talking about things like that. Those are episodic television shows. So I don't mind the pacing because it's only been 9 episodes. So I don't mind getting on a slow a little bit in, you know, a 10 episode season. I had a problem with Andor, right? Because it was 12, 13, you know, more episodes, and you're still not getting any information. In this 9 episode, I got more things happening in these episodes than I ever got with that. So I have no problem with this, but you know, I could understand why people are upset about it, but I don't have that issue.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fine in that regard.
Yeah, same.
So I agreed on the pacing. My only issue with this season is how easily Juliet handles every barrier like she's invincible. That's 100% a problem. And that's a trope that bothers me. That is 100% true. Like she just finds everything right there. Like it was always laid out for her. Like whatever.
Like we said that last week. You know, she is the definition of plot armor.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the pacing. See, it serves the story. So true, Nikisha. Yeah. Hey, Muhammad, how you doing?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Agree, Nikisha. She's a millennial Ripley.
Millennial Ripley.
That's good.
Wow, that's funny.
I agree there too, Jeeves. Not the pacing. He's actually thinking. He's talking about the writing specifically.
Just actual, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we see Shirley and Luke is about to go down. She's like, "Hey, you bet your life on it." He's like, "Yeah, I guess I do." She's like, "All right, good, because you're on your own." And she leaves. She bounces. Shirley's like, "2 fingers. I don't care." But they talk about Juliet before she goes, and he's like, "Yeah, I know that she got to the next silo. I don't know anything about that silo, but I know specifically that she got to the next silo."
Yeah.
Hey, look what's up.
There he is.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, guys? What's up?
A man, the myth, the legend.
I passed out and listening to you guys on. I'm like, damn, I missed it.
No, we're coming up to the end of it, so we still got some of the best part to come. So
this was the best episode I think ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I started this whole thing off. This is the best episode, period. So you see, Shirley's like, so he's telling her that Shirley that she got to silo 17. I don't know much about anything else. Got to the next silo. Her camera cut off, but she could be alive, right?
He never. This I rewound and listened to again. He never told her that she went into another silo. He just said she was alive.
She went over the mountain.
Yeah, but before her camera went out, she was still alive. Then her camera.
So he never told you about the other silo.
He never told her about the other silo
because he can't share that information with her.
Because I rewound it and I made sure I was like, he's still keeping some info to himself. You know,
which is probably smart. It's probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah, because I thought that was interesting. I'm like, I wonder if he told her, would she just like, oh shit, another silo? Her brain would have blew up, at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just learning that there's other silos. It's like learning like there's aliens. Like, oh yeah, they went to this other planet and she's chilling over there. It's like,
and then you're like.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I did watch. I'm like, she doesn't know about the other silo. She just knew that she was alive all the way.
That's probably why she was able to leave. Because if not, then she would have went with him. She would have wanted to know if Juliet's over there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think Eder is the real Solo's granddaughter. His wife was probably pregnant with her mother and didn't go outside. She and a few others survived, but they shunned her because she was from up top.
I like that theory. Good theory.
And Nikisha says, "Finally, Anzo."
Thank you, Nikisha. Appreciate it.
So B's watching Skeleton Crew. Dude,
nice.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So
yeah, I love that we talking about this, but yeah. I'm not gonna talk about what I think about it. We'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I took this because I thought this was amazing, and what it reminded me of was you in the Matrix in the third movie. Yeah, how it was taking to Zion. That's exactly what this looks like, right?
Yep. Like total Matrix kind of post-apocalyptic last humans kind of thing. Yeah.
I have a question about this scene though, because I think you made a joke about it a few shows ago, where it was like, oh, what if the water is just like low and you can stand up in it? You know what I mean?
I thought that for real. I thought that from the beginning, like you can just stand up. I thought that was me.
But didn't you jump into water?
She fell into the water and didn't know what to do, and she pulled her way back up.
But it wasn't in this silo. In this silo, it was in the other silo.
No, it was in this silo.
No, it was in this silo. In the first
silo, she was going down because looking for the door, and she was afraid. And she put her feet in there. She fell in there, and she didn't feel a bottom. And then she got up, pulled herself up, and went back up.
I thought she got to the bottom, but never let go of the rope because she was afraid.
Yeah, so she never let go, but she did put her feet in the water. She felt like the water was there.
Okay, so she never actually jumped in the water.
She never jumped all the way in.
Okay. I thought she jumped in the water. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
more sense.
she put her feet back up and she climbed back up. Miss Honey says, no, Juliet's fear made her retreat in Silo 18. Juliet was too scared. She never felt the bottom. She never went to the bottom. Exactly. She put her feet in, saw the water, and she was done.
Yeah.
So the visuals here are on point. And I think it was so cool because I can see it, you know, though it was dark, it was weird. Do you guys see all the lights?
Mhm.
So like here, there's a light.
Yeah.
And here, there's a light. And here, there's a light. And here. So where is the power coming for all this stuff?
Mm.
Good question.
So I think that's something that's going to come up later.
Mm-hmm.
She had a fear of water over that now. Exactly, being in that water for all that time. She's able to swim now. She good.
Yeah, she knows how to swim.
And then we get Camille. Woo! This is a good one.
Oh, it's a good scene.
And he's showing her the picture. And she's looking like, do you think this is real? Sim says, I don't know. Is it real? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of started to believe. You can start to see him. And she's like, you know, I think we do need to join them. Do you think they can win? So if you do what Paul's asking you to do, yes, they can.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sims tells her about Sims said, she says they're going to need a leader, and you could be that leader.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I can't. I'm not. They will never trust me. And then she says, well, I guess it got to be me, huh? She was like, I guess it got to be me, huh? He's like, yeah. And he never questioned her. He never said anything. He just said, yeah. It's probably got to be you.
I told you guys last week she had an agenda. She has an agenda. That's her agenda. Now, I'm not 100% sure if she wants to lead it or because even if Sims does lead it, she knows whatever she tells Sims she's going to do, right? So technically, she's going to be the leader.
Either way, she's the boss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She's either going to be the head or the neck, one way or another. She's going to determine the way it's going to go. So I thought that whole thing was, and he's like, but there's something that he tells her. Well, last time we got in trouble, he had a key that lit up with 18 on it. And he runs back to the servers and he ran back into the room. And he came out and said, hey, I got to become mayor. So you think he has something in there? Yes, he has something in there. And I think only the head of IT knows what it is or whoever has the key.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
it's communicating with the other silos, guaranteed.
But more than anything, he has. They don't know about the order. They just can read the order and the order tell them what to do, so they have no idea about that. But the fact that now Sims is on the hunt for Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
You get the people from the bottom, down below. You be the leader. You do all the things that you need to do, and let me go get the key. Man, that was a cool scene.
Yeah.
Just the support there. That was. I'm telling you, man. That's what I want. That's the type of stuff I like. You know, you have to have that together. You can't rule the world unless you have someone that's going to be there to do it with you. And I'm cool, and I'm happy that he allowed. Once again, they keep on showing these positive, powerful women in the silo in this post apocalyptic society, and I thought that it was just really good to see, and that now he can support her. He's gonna do what he needs to do, and he can support her. Hopefully, he doesn't die, and hopefully, when he gets the key, he doesn't have to put his son behind the wall and do the same thing.
Yeah. You know, like I said earlier, just it's good to see them on this, like legit on the same page. Like, you know, but yeah, I still feel like she has that agenda kind of thing. You know, because again, it went right to like, instead of being curious on like what's really on the outside, it again turned into them like, how can we control the stuff going on here? You know, and I think they were the only ones that saw this picture and didn't think like we're being lied to. Like it's there's a world out there. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Their thing is like, how can we control the silo? You know, I thought that was very interesting. You know,
I didn't see it that way. I saw it as they're still very risk adverse. They have a son. So everyone else is like ready to run outside, you know, and because they're not thinking about, I have a son who's, you know, a viable person.
That's
right?
true.
I'm not.
They're the only ones with a kid, right?
Well, I mean, Billings' wife they have a baby.
Yeah,
they have a baby. So it's not like, you know, you're thinking in those aspects. They have a kid that they're not going to just run outside and put him in danger. He's going to be number one on their list. So they're not ready just to run outside. They'll let someone else go do it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to be staying here until they know something's safe. And that's just me. I don't know. Let's go through these comments real quick. The shot of Lucas in front of the door is so good. It should be a poster. I've wondered if the water became more shallow in 18 since the pump was turned on in 17. No, but George got down there, right?
Yeah.
And George says you don't have to worry about the depth of the water. He told her that from the beginning.
Yeah,
when he was alive.
Yeah, but 17 was. Oh no! Yeah.
He was. This season 1.
Yeah,
when George said that. So my girl Camille, I'm gonna steal your man. If the water 18 is overflowed the tunnel from 17. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. If you open up that door, maybe the door from 17, the water comes flooding in, and then all that gets flooded.
But now Juliet fixed that problem. So how long does it take?
It might take months though.
Yeah.
To get rid of that water. She's like, well, I guess you can do it if you insist. Yeah. Said Camille definitely wants to run shit.
Yeah.
So I had that thought too, Dr. Deb. Yeah. She won't need no man when she's on top. I think she still will. Because she still has her son. And all the women are still act that way. They still understand that, understand the family dynamic, and the men respect it because that's what all they know is are powerful women, are strong women. No matter what the pack says. Have y'all thought about what job you have in Silo 18? I'll be the boogeyman. 100%. I'll be the boogeyman.
Yeah, I'd be outside because I'm claustrophobic, and there's no goddamn way that I am living in a silo like that. I'm sorry. I'll go clean, guys. I'm gonna go clean. I'm good.
I thought you were gonna say you work at the farms.
I was gonna say the cafeteria, because then at least you get the camera.
No, but if he works in the farms, he can grow whatever he wants.
That's true too. That's true too. I might be okay if I got some chronic up in there.
I was gonna say
exactly. Essential crops.
Yeah, for real.
What about you, B? What do you think? What type of job? If you're saying something, I can't hear you.
You're muted, dude.
I have no idea. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Would you be a packed reader? I think Brandon would be a teacher. I could see he'll be a teacher.
I'm not sure.
You don't like kids. That's the only problem. You don't like kids. But you've done that. You've done it before.
I like kids. I just would never teach American kids.
They're silent kids. They're all sheltered, so it's okay. They don't know nothing about nothing, so just be like today.
Either that or or working like some boring desk job as an accountant or something like that.
You be an IT guy?
IT guy. Yeah.
Look at him. He's an IT.
Wait, no soldiers? No soldiers up in here? All you guys want to be doing some boring ass job? None of you guys be like don't want to be in power?
I told you,
No.
I'll be the boogeyman. I will be Sims
Yeah, he'd be,
100%.
I got you.
No
He'd be
question.
what is the janitors? Well, what did Sim calls it? Working in the janitorial.
Yeah, the janitorial.
Yeah.
I mean, I will work for judicial and I'll be the enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Tank?
I don't know. This whole time I was trying to think. I don't know. It would probably be
a tough one, right?
Yeah.
You'll be a deputy, man. You'd be
That's
like
what I
Hank.
was thinking.
You'd be like Hank.
Yeah. Just kind of chilling.
You'll be okay with the people down there, but down below, but you still believe in order, but you don't necessarily believe what's up top. I can see that's you.
Yeah. I see that.
So Miss Sunny, I'd be a farmer or a herbalist for sure. That I'm telling you, that's Anzo.
God's perks.
I'd hope to be a doctor in Silo too. All I ever wanted to do. That makes sense, Dr. Deb. 100%. So I need an episode that to ends with Sim's son's eyes showing through the vault door like Solo was. Nikisha, what's with you and kids and one kid being the only last one living? Everything we got, same thing we're from. The kid to be the one last one living with no one else around.
At least you don't want the kid to die. You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
At least we can say one. We can say one kid.
There's that.
Mahogany, success is nothing without someone you love to share it with. That is an age tested, a cultural test. That's for Sims and his wife. 100%. Exactly. You can have all the power you want, but if you don't have someone to share it with, you're gonna end up being like the first mayor who regretted her entire life after her husband died.
Yeah. She was kind of just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
The pump was on level 8, guys. It only take a day or two.
Was it that low? Yeah.
So it was like pump was like I thought like 80 or 130 or something like that. There was a pump on 92. The pump on 92 was lower than where the water was, so the pump itself was on 92.
Mm.
So to get all the rest of that done. So in the book, they had smaller pumps, and they said they had to get the big pump, and that was going to take it to do it, and it'll take weeks. So I think it's going to be like more like weeks.
Yeah.
So instead of cleaning, Anzo will blow smoke on the screen.
100%.
Outside.
100%. I would take my last puff and blow it on the screen. And then I would die. Because obviously I got to take my helmet off, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Honey says, I'll be Bernard's executive assistant, unfortunately, but I'll know a lot of secret stuff. Yes, you definitely would. So I don't know what job I would have, but if I found that door, I'd open it. That voice would treat me like George, so no fear. I like that, Jeeves. I think it is intriguing how there's no real religion in the silo other than the worshiping of the founders.
Yeah.
Well, if you got rid of all the books, that means you have no Bible, so you have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really do anything that would cause any kind of uproar, So, and that was the whole point of what Salvador Quinn did, was get rid of anything that would create free thought in it, and
it saves everybody, at least, So I'm an executive assistant to a COO in real life.
There you go.
That means you know all the secrets. You know all the bodies are buried. They just take one for the silo, Jeeves. So, Ms. Cool Ms. So you run the show and keep the CEO looking good. Yep. So level 30, I think. So level 30 is where the farm is. Level 30 is where the farm is. The actual pump, I believe, is 92. So yeah.
I need a blueprint. I need a layout.
It's weird because I'm trying to remember what's the show or what's the book. And
well, then plus the show, you have like what's going on in this silo and then what's going on in that silo. So it's like man, it's a lot.
But remember, they said when they're doing the stuff, so the barrier is on like 36 or something, 34, 30, something like that. And they said, well, we need to get it up 10 more levels so they can get to the farm.
Yeah.
So the farm, I believe, is on 30. So how long has Juliet been to 17 now? No one knows.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it feels like a couple weeks, right?
At the most.
Like, if that's what it feels like. Because a couple months might be too long, and a couple days is too short. Like, I feel it's got to be 2-3 weeks. You know, like a month max a month.
I was thinking maybe about a week or two. Like, I don't think it's been that. Yeah, I don't think it's been that long. She's been.
Yeah.
2
weeks probably.
Yeah.
Just realized that forbidden knowledge plays a role in Silo, Severance, and From 2.
Pretty much.
She says, "You're welcome, guys." All right, so we got this black love scene, which I'm all about, and then we get back to Lucas as he goes deep and fights through his fear, going down low. He jumps into the water and stands up and realizes, "Hey, I'm good." So he sees a tunnel and he starts to walk through the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, he legit bet his life on it because Shirley asked him, he goes, "Would you bet your life on it?" And he kind of thought about it for a second. He's like, yeah. And then he did a leap of faith. Like, he just didn't
stopped. Yeah.
He didn't pinky toe it in, He's just like, let go and just belly flopped in there, or,
belly flopped. But he gets to the door and
so brave.
The light comes on. It says, Lucas, Kyle, IT, Shadow, and talk about all the stuff and says, "Hey, I've only talked to these people, Mary Meadows, was Salvador Quinn, Mary Meadows, and George was here, but he never talked to nothing, whatever. And you're the third. I'm going to give you some information, but if you tell a soul, we'll tell you the safeguard will be active. Do you know what the safeguard is?" And he's like, "I do," which I'm not sure if he does, like, as you guys said. And this is like the scene where you start seeing it looks like he's about to be giving all the knowledge, all the stuff that's going on.
They better tell us what the safeguard is.
They better.
You know what I mean? If they try to use that as a cliffhanger for next season, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, I can't wait a year. I can't.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be 2.
I hope not. Well, no, they got the approval for 2 and 3, or for 3 and 4. So
3 and 4.
Hopefully, it's not too long.
They can't wait too. You can't slow play that much. Then I'll be upset.
Yeah. Man, they need to film those seasons back to back.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep it going.
So
I was thinking a week at the most. I wish they told us. Yeah. Like he said, banning books takes on a new meaning now. Exactly. Lucas is so brave. True Jeeves. Forbidden knowledge is a human trope, Nikisha. We'll be seeing it forever. Look how beautiful he looks.
I mean, it is very like voice of God kind of thing, like getting like this forbidden knowledge that like humans not supposed to have, like.
Man, I hope he goes to the dark side, Nikisha.
Oh man. Jim says, "I think the algorithm has been turned off in 17. What do you guys think?" That maybe they don't know anything. Yeah. I think every silo is going to be different. I think every silo is a little bit different.
Me too.
I think so too. Yeah. I
I
like
think
that.
you're right, Jim. I think you're right on. Very true, Miss Honey. Hey Jim, very interesting question. Yeah. I expect them to shoot 2 and 3 at the same time since Shift Book 2 is set entirely different cast, a time, place, and etc. And it's a prequel, so it's hard doing Shift like that. You're gonna do it, but
I don't know if they're gonna do like I heard some rumors that they might integrate some of the stories from the prequel into 2 and 3, but 2 and 3 is going to be the last book, the third book, which from what I understand, the third book is a continuation. Yeah.
And so, but all these books were like written by themselves, so like you know, individual things. So I'm just finishing Wool. I'll be finished probably tomorrow, and then I'll just write in the Shift, and then I'm thinking Dust is going to be the ending of the story. But I wouldn't be surprised if they had another story. So another book comes out.
Yeah.
So, oh, good one, Jim. So I pushed the TV just to take it all in.
Or pause. Yeah.
I'll pause the TV. Yeah. I think you're right, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mesmerized. So after us going through all this stuff, what did you guys think of this episode?
It's probably my favorite one yet.
Same.
Yeah, me
Just
too.
with where they went with the character Solo, just kind of exploring more with him, just kind of more stuff kind of coming to light and unraveling. The scenes between Steve Zahn and Rebecca Ferguson especially worked for me. Well, they usually always do, but this was the standout for me this season. And just anticipating the wrap up of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
This was an amazing episode.
I agree.
What about you, Gonzo? Yeah, since we haven't heard from your opinion, why don't you tell us what you think?
I thought this episode was the best one out of both seasons, to be honest with you. You got a lot of emotion when Solo and Julie were having that conversation. You know what I mean? You found out about the kids and the baby was hungry and all of that stuff. So I thought it was great. I had one nitpick in this episode. Well, I didn't like it. I know it's a nitpick, but so the scene where she goes into the room and they're looking at everything, and I guess that's where the extra suit is, and she looks at it and they close it up, and she's like, "What was that?" And they don't show us. I was like, "Oh my God, are you guys really gonna do this? Like, you're not gonna show us what she saw?" And I know they ended up showing it in the episode, but then I'm like, "Okay, so it was an extra suit. I get why you did it because you didn't want the little girl to know it was a suit, but I mean, for as an audience, like it didn't seem like it made a difference to whether you hid that from us for like 20 minutes. That was the only nitpick I had on that scene, but it was a great episode.
Wasn't it kind of good feeling when you realize she stayed there to help them out anyway, just because of Solo, to make sure the kids are being taken care of, and Solo has the right family and taking care of that silo.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So I assumed it was another suit, but it wasn't confirmed until later. So
right,
I'm like,
it's like, why'd you have to, like, because it wasn't nothing special to be like, oh, we gotta hide this from the people. You know what I mean? It was okay. It was another suit. I was like, okay, so that was kind of underwhelming reveal there, but that suit is probably going to. Well, you know what? I was gonna say used to get to the other silo, but I actually don't think that's how she's gonna get to the other silo anymore. I don't think it's gonna be by going outside and going back in. I think they're gonna find one of those tunnels.
The tunnels.
Yeah.
The pump
But I also don't think
out.
that tunnel. I also don't think that tunnel that Lucas found is for 17 either.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Because there's only those kids and Solo in them in 17. So who's the voice talking, right? So I think that's a different voice. Maybe some controlling all the solos. That could be a possibility, but I don't think that's a voice for 17 Solo.
It could be AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
It could be that, but
where does that door lead to, right?
That's the question.
That's the big question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder I don't think
like we
will.
assume it's Silo 17, but like
Mhm.
there's no reason like it has to be. It could be like the central. Maybe there's like the 51st silo, because remember Salvador only knew about 50. Bernard knew about 51. So if that 51 is like the headquarters where
Yeah,
the
yeah.
job of that silo is just to make sure
care of
everyone
all.
else runs, so that could be
Right.
like the tunnel directly to like the headquarters,
Mhm.
so
Also, just
yeah.
I don't know if I believe that all outside is poisoned. Just I don't believe
I'm
it.
not sure about that either, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, what if that's a tunnel to get out of the experiment?
Oh,
A long
just
tunnel
like
that lets you all the way out.
uh-huh.
Oh, man, that's a long experiment. How long have them silos been running for? Over
300
100
years.
years?
3 something, yeah.
That's a long experiment, man. The people who started it ain't alive no more. So
But it could be a society. It's a societal thing you're experimenting on.
yeah, but you can't find the information you need in like 100 years. You got to keep it going for 3.
Keep the party going.
Just keep it. I mean, that could be the experiment itself is like make this thing self-efficient, so you don't have to worry about it. So
if the world ever does blow up, we know we can survive, and this is how long we can survive.
yeah,
Could be.
There's only a couple thousand, was it 50,000 people? What if you still have billions of people out in the world? What's the life of 50,000 people?
Mhm.
I heard the author is writing another one. I heard that too.
I
He's
heard that too.
getting ready to
Yeah, I heard
write
that.
a 4th book. So I almost forgot. There's an interview with the showrunner on Collider interviews on YouTube channel. He mentions how they changed characters, plots, mentioned every character but Meadows.
Oh, really?
The book is that way too. I mean, in Walker's interesting, and then the relationships they put in the show are not the relationships they have in the book. There's a character, Mark, that's married to Shirley. It's not Knox. Knox is an older gentleman. Bernard is a short, small, like 5-foot dude with nerdy glasses. That's very small hands and all that stuff. And you have the greatest big actor ever, and Ted Robbins playing that guy. So there's a lot of different things. Lucas is different. The relationship with Juliet is different. There's a lot. They give less George information in the book. They spent a lot more on that in the show. So there's a lot of differences.
Mhm.
2 production teams shoot at the same time and then edit them together. We won't get all of the shift at once. They will go back and forth with flashbacks. No way we're getting a whole year without Jules and company.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I like that. Like maybe 2 teams. If you do like a prequel kind of stuff, like how the second book is, like it would make sense why you would have just a whole second production team. Like it doesn't need to really feel. I mean, I don't know how far back it goes, but if it's like a prequel, like how it all started, then it doesn't need to feel like how season 1 and season 2 did. Like because you're not
But
stuck
it
in
could
a
be
silo.
like them uncovering what happened. So
Yeah.
they stop them going outside and they uncover what's happening through this.
Yeah.
And then you can show how it actually happened as they uncover. So you can go back, instead of going back from 17 to 18, you're going back from 18 to the beginning as they uncover it. Then he said there's a big twist coming. I wonder what it might be.
Ooh. Because I mean, the penultimate is usually the best episode, but the finale,
It's the most
sets up something. So you have a big twist or a big like what's gonna happen next kind of thing. Yeah,
it's a phenomenal episode. I cried when the kids and Solo made up. When you said there's a baby, I lost it. You're not the only one.
Yeah,
You're
like, there's a baby.
If you would have told me it was a baby from the beginning, we would have this argument. So cool, and Keisha, I had to check that out too. Solo will make a great teacher and protector. I agree. Also on Apple TV, there's a featurette with the set and prop people. As they say, Silo 17 is for the creatives.
Oh.
Yeah, check that out.
I gotta check that out. That's interesting. Oh, if they split up the silos like that, like here's more creative people, here's
There's
more like
pragmatic people.
workers.
These are exactly. Like I
No.
mentioned earlier, the hardcore Juliet could have just grabbed the suit, then hollered at Solo, and then said, "There's a baby," and she could have been gonesies by now. I think Juliet is going to go through the tunnel. Not sure where it will lead though. Great season overall.
Yeah.
Also, that painting in Solo's vault looks a lot like the scene inside the cleaner's helmet.
Yeah,
it's we were talking about, Jim. Yeah. I don't think outside is bad either. You think that's the clue shown in the picture. There's poison dust, but the world is safe a little further out. I'm telling you, I think it's the whole glass bubble thing. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's a dome, and they're stopping it there, and they just put a dome over Atlanta. And Keisha, there's a city and skyline that we see in the distance. What's up with that? You can't ever get there, right? So that's why I think that the distance thing was there. You saw that there's equations for the distance. How far is that skyline we're actually seeing? How far is it really going? So maybe that's the exit.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's Atlanta because of the travel guide and George's name after Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
The picture isn't showing that it's okay outside. It's showing the position of landmarks or something like that, triangulation of a position, which I think is the skyline.
Yeah.
If they make it out of there, welcome to Atlanta, where the play is played.
Nice, jeez.
I think the big twist that the showrunner was talking about is that Brian's idea that's why they intentionally didn't mention Meadows, not to spoil it. Yeah, exactly. With Shirley.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the big thing.
Yeah. We're still waiting on that.
But that would be the perfect time to talk about it. Right before she's killing him. He says, "I'm your dad."
Yeah.
I think the silos are people taken from each state. Poor Washington, D.C.
Well, that could be. There's 51, so
it's 51. You're right. It's 51.
There's 51. So it could be.
No Puerto Rico.
I mean, it's not state. Well, I guess technically, D.C.'s not either. But
I completely buy into the dome theory.
I like it.
So that's why it's 51, including DC. Yep.
And it would make sense. What if the 50? DC has all your politicians, the people who run the country.
And they're the ones running the silos. I see you guys. I see you thinking outside the box. That's an awesome thought. So we have the finale coming up on Friday. I want to do a watch party on Friday. So what we're going to do is we'll talk amongst each other. We'll give you guys a good time. It's probably going to be around 9:30 on Friday night. We could do a watch party. I will definitely be here, and hopefully everyone else can be here. If they can't, it's okay. I'll still do it on Friday, regardless. We'll do a watch party. I'll give you guys the website. I'm gonna take it right from Anzo. I'll give you come in. I'll post the website. I'll pin it to chat, and you can go to that website, watch it along with us. We can all watch together. We can have our comments together, and then afterwards we'll have a small conversation, and then we'll still have our show on Saturday, because that Saturday we're going to be doing that for a shorter show, and then we'll jump right into Severance season 2.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I really appreciate everyone that came into the comments. You guys are hilarious and smart and have so many great ideas. So I hope you guys all join us on Friday. And then Saturday, once we'll do our little conversation, and we'll jump right into Severance. We're also live on Mondays and Thursdays, where we do talk about TV shows. We talk about movies. We talk about what's going on right now. We're going to talk about Mayfair Witches tomorrow.
Mayfair Witches. Skeleton Crew's coming to an end. So
we hit that up. We'll probably talk about Goosebumps season 2. We talk about a lot of different things that are coming up. Any other good movies that are coming up. So we'll keep you guys abreast of what we're gonna do. But as we said, we go live 9:30 on Mondays, and same thing on Thursdays. And we'll see you guys on Friday with this Silo watch party. But before I leave, I definitely want Anzo to do a shout out to his channel, because without him, there would be no one of us doing this. I promise you. So Anzo, shout out your channel real quick, man.
I appreciate that, man. But I'm sure you guys would have definitely figured it. But as you guys know, Bigger Forward Entertainment on Tuesday, we will be back with another episode of From. Wednesday will be the OOC, and I'll probably be here on Friday doing the watch party with these guys. So, man, thanks for having me. Sorry I was late, but
Oh no, you're fine.
Good.
Man, thank you guys once again. This is me, Brian Grizzly, with Tank, Brandman, Spoiler Kings. Appreciate you guys and cannot wait to see you guys on Friday. But come and see us. So thanks, and we'll see you guys later.
See you guys
Later.